What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. Thank you all for coming. Thought I'd just pop on, share some of the good news. Nobody noticed. Brother D Man joined the ranks of his first live stream today, which was awesome. So we're hoping to get him on and start pushing his channel because it's fantastic. Just a sec. Sorry about that, everyone. Bit of an unexpected visit. But yeah, no, it was great to see him finally getting on, doing some live streaming. Our brother Singletown Bachelor, who will be joining us right now, just got back, fresh eyed from his vacation. Hello, brother.
Hello, and
How
welcome to the stream, boys. The guys in the chat.
I have sent out the link to a couple guys because I'm hoping Frank will get on. I wanted to have a nice discussion with Frank and a couple of the guys that we generally don't get like one-on-ones with too often. Um, of course, I completely didn't have time to even think about sending them an actual email or anything today, but I did leave him a post in the actual video that he had actually messaged me on. So hopefully he'll pop in pretty soon. Um, who's Frank? That would be channel 1-800 Dumb. Much like D Man, he's been around with everybody. He's always there, and he pops on once in a while, but never does he get like a one-on-one chance. And brother D Man, it's something I think has rarely happened with him as well. So I'd like to give him the chance tonight to pop on and actually do a one-on-one. Of course, we're here to promote brother D Man's first live stream and something he's looking to start up now. So that's going to be
Mhm.
fantastic. Um, yeah, brother Outlaw, you're another one that kind of pops in here and there, but never gets a chance to do a one-on-one. So you're on that list too, buddy. You're on that list too. And of course, Tom, always good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
I know you've done a couple with Singletown, but you never pop on with me. I think he's racist. Do you think he's racist? Is it a racism thing? What's up, brother Gunsai? But yeah, no, I thought it would be nice to have a couple of
You
you
know
guys that.
he's American. So you're the emperor of Canada. So there's might something in it. So yeah,
Well, I don't think he's supposed to be racist against me. We're the same color.
beats
So,
me.
as far as I know, he could be a Heinz 57. I don't know. I don't know. Just kidding with you, brother Tom. I'd love to have you on. We've had some great conversations on Singletown's channel. So,
Absolutely.
brother, now that you're back, you're going to be live streaming early mornings again, or what's the deal?
Oh, depends. Whether or not the YouTube queen is harassing me much. I can see that she has throttled my channel down significantly. So yeah,
Yeah.
but no, just yeah, lack of new subs and throttling down for the view of the channel.
Hmm.
That's that's part of being here in the manosphere. That's oh no, we don't like you to be in that place, so we're gonna throttle you each and every stream that you hold back.
Well, with the idea of promoting new guys that are getting into this to spread the message, one
Yeah.
of the reasons why I think it's so important is because without a doubt, very soon the axe is not just going for the big names, like the people with hundreds of millions of subs or anything. They're going to come for us all, every one of us.
Yeah,
So
thank you,
eventually,
Tom, for thank you, Tom, for that shout out. I speak my mind as Chris Mitchell is doing. So I would say that you and I are two pieces of the same coin.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, man, I want as many people as possible putting their stories up, having their live streams. Little brother Johnny, brother
Yep.
JR, Sam. I like your new picture. It's better than your old one. Your old one was kind of creepy. but but yeah, because I mean, I believe it was just this past week. They did a big axe on a lot of channels. Now they weren't all struck down. A lot of them were just they had content
Shadow ban.
removed
Oh.
without you know them being asked to remove it. They just removed it. They just completely fucking yeeted the videos and stuff that they had up, and it was for very basic nonsense. So basically, from the list of excuses that YouTube had given these creators on why they struck down those videos and just removed them, every one of my streams should be definitely on the list. Like
What?
curse words, things of that nature, calling people fags or something like that, all completely struck down. So,
Well, as yeah, Tom. Well, thank you. You should, or actually, everybody in the manosphere should check out and do um, sign up for Rumble and Odyssey. I
yeah.
have a backup on Odyssey, so I'm in the process of getting it all my content over there. But
Nope.
it's a slow process because I don't have 300 subs, so it can automatically be uploaded.
Well, I mean, I don't know how Rumble works, and I do have the account. I do have the alternate app for actually like making your own Rumble videos, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't just use a straight up different service, I guess. I have no idea. I haven't really looked into it. But you know, I actually haven't uploaded anything because it would be a separate issue. I don't know how Blake and them do it, where they're streaming to YouTube and Rumble and Odyssey and all those other ones all simultaneously, right? And then they can pick which ones they shut off. Because like everybody else, I would wholeheartedly get on Rumble if it was just as easy as getting linked up with YouTube, right? No problem. But I don't think StreamYards recognizes Rumble. It recognizes YouTube and a couple of other streaming platforms I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
Like never even heard of. It could be possible that I'm only able to use what's that other platform that Ike got me to try? Oh my god, I can't remember.
Streamlabs.
No. I think it's like its own separate video/audio recorder, essentially. But
Restream.
it essentially takes over as like a StreamYards, right?
Okay.
Um, OBS. There you go.
Oh,
OBS,
okay.
Scott. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, they seem to be using OBS, and Ike tried running me through it for a little bit there. Holy fuck! Wow, it looks so complicated. It is just a fucking nightmare to navigate, from what I see. Um, like StreamYards is super simple. It has very little on there, you know, and you can just get it done, right? But that Odyssey thing, I mean, it's basically an editor and mixer and everything all in one. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
What's up, brother Hemi? Yeah, no, it was a bit intimidating for me, so I was like, maybe I'll look into it later.
Most of my videos I made them on OBS,
Yeah, the
and it's
OBS.
pain. Yeah, it's a
Sorry, Ike,
pain.
I'm trying to get caught up here, buddy.
Hey, life
Uh,
happens.
life happens. I'm falling behind in the chat.
Oh, we
But
can't
yeah,
have that.
I don't know if any of the wrenches have actually fucking linked D-Man's channel, so I guess I'll have to do it. I am going to
Yeah,
grab you guys a link to D-Man's channel just because, it's it's nice to know that people are willing to promote the other channels, especially when you're just starting out. And I think it's the least we could do. Really, it is. As
just
soon
for
as
you, Riggs. Just for you.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
no, no, I don't. Just a sec. I have got to get logged in to my other account.
Bram.
What the hell? Sorry, guys. I am still learning how YouTube works and how it looks on a laptop because I'm so used to using my phone. But these are definitely not my subs. So where do you find that category? Oh, what the fuck? Stupid thing didn't switch to the right account.
That's
Okay,
right.
now we're on the right account. There. Manage. I'll find you, D-Man. I'll get you a link as soon as I can. Anyway, tell us a bit about your vacation, brother.
Oh, it was good.
Where'd you go?
A little island south of from where I live. It's called Samsø. It's a. I can post some photographs from it. It has a Viking story to it. In the Viking era, the inhabitants carved a stream across it so that they could pass their to the other side with their longboats.
Nice.
So that's funny, but they have found it that they had a harbor. Um, so yeah, that's a bit of history, and I'll post them on a of Shinobi's some time. I don't know. We
Oh,
got some time, some sleep.
yeah, no worries, brother, no worries.
I don't know.
Did you get lots of pictures and stuff to share with us, or what?
Well, I won't say lots of pictures, but I got some.
Well,
Some.
that's good. Well, I don't know if you heard, but me and the guys are having a little get together here in BC at the end of August. So far, it's just three of us, obviously. But we're hoping that a couple of the local guys that we do see in the channels once in a while, hopefully they can, pop by for a visit. I know one of them lives fairly close by because we discussed the area that I'm in, right? So, we're hoping that a couple of the other guys will be able to join us, but I don't know if him is going to be able to make it. He hasn't confirmed or denied that he isn't coming. Hopefully I'll get to that. But it would have been nice if Hemi could have made it. Just possibly it's too short a notice. But it'll be a good time. I got lots of events planned for us. There's lots of nice lakes and rivers we're going to go tour. Gonna go do some biking, do some fishing. Maybe I didn't even think about it, but maybe the guys would like to go try some gold panning because I have all the equipment for that. So I might take them to do that someday. We don't have a big window, but try to get as much in as we can and have a good time. Try out a couple of the local restaurants, things like that. And yeah, it'd be a great time. Great time.
Live action made to Canada. Yeah, well, yeah, but he had to take some time, for a little picnic in Greenland. So
Yeah.
he didn't make it just straight out. So
Oh, hey, man, you got to have those layovers, right?
yeah, apparently.
Was there like lots of pillaging and raping going on in Greenland at the time, or did he just claim it as his own?
It was a different type of person. The Inuits are different from those who was on the island at that time.
Oh yeah.
But they were basically family, but it wasn't the same. But yeah, and it's ours. So
Well, I mean, it's yours for now,
yeah,
right?
but,
I mean, it's not that I really want Greenland.
no, the Inuit are going to eventually pass an independence.
Sure, go ahead. I'll cut them off a piece of ice and just send them adrift. There you go. You're independent. Enjoy your independence, motherfuckers.
Well, they cost us Danes 5 billion a year. So yeah.
So maybe I'm a bit confused on how the population works there. Are you saying that you're saying there's a native population that lives in Greenland?
Yep.
And the idea of all the Greenland people being white is totally not what it actually is.
Nope.
Really?
Yep. They are just like the Inuit.
Really?
Yep.
You guys
They
never
have
heard
more
of
in common
smallpox?
with the Inuit people in northern Canada, and yeah.
Yeah, not where I come from. Where Dax comes from, here in BC, absolutely, they have a huge problem with them. Where I come from, we killed them all. There is no more of them. They're gone. They're all gone. So, I mean, I didn't run into that problem when I was growing up.
No.
Does that sound racist?
Same.
I mean, it was conquest,
Yeah, shit happens in conquest.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, it's an island. It's not like you're going anywhere.
It's basically 1,000 years in the making, because the Vikings did it and our ancestors did it 400 to 300 years ago.
Yeah. Well, to answer Arvo's question here, yes, they were Micmac Indians on the island, and there were Micmac Indians in Labrador. That's why my great-grandmother was half. So her
So
side
you
of the
bastards.
yeah, well, her side of the family was from Labrador, right?
Okay.
But they weren't Newfoundland Micmac Indians, I guess. I think they still kind of were, because it was one tribe that just kind of branched out. But yeah, the ones that were local, that were like, oh, we're gonna fight and keep our land, they were wrong. They were very wrong.
Yeah, cubing speed. Danish agricultures can feed roughly 17 million people, and we are only 6 million. So We exported the stuff.
So hey, right where you are is pretty much where the farmers are on strike, then, right?
Not quite, but
That's not around your area.
well, sort of 1,400 kilometers away they are, but
Well, they're
that's
up
in
in the.
Holland.
Oh, right, it's Holland.
Yeah,
My bad. I was like,
no
wait,
worries.
yeah, something's not right here because they were meeting up with Germans in Germany, and Denmark is not next to Germany.
Yeah, on top of it, yeah.
That shows you what I know, homie.
Hey,
Don't
shit
worry.
happens. We can always have a laugh on it.
Yeah, as for that Vax request, like I said, I know online Scotty and Ike said they looked it up and it was still there. Like it's still something you have to cross the border, but I mean, I don't know because I see and hear people coming across all the time now without it. So I don't fully know. Personally, I mean, if that was your issue, fuck, I wouldn't even care if I had a passport. If I wanted to come across, I'd just get someone to meet me on the other side. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And cross the border. More of our border is uncontrolled than controlled. So you literally go like half a mile over either direction and cross there. Once you're on the other side, you're nobody. You're a ghost. You know, all you need is somebody to pick you up. Um, but it is what it is right now. I mean, even with Eric flying in, you know, I'm more concerned of them fucking giving him a hard time at the border security in the airport.
Why?
Why? Because they have been collecting fucking cash and confiscating it at the border. So what's to stop them from doing it in an airport? And you know, he wanted to bring cash, and I was like, dude, try to figure out like something for a traveler's check or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, in the end, it's his choice. If he wants to bring cash, he can bring cash. But I'm worried that they'll fucking like try to confiscate it right in the airport.
Sew it into your cloth, into what you wear.
Fuck. I don't put anything past these guys right now. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like when they're opening your gift card or envelope to a family member or something that you've decided to send $5 or $10 to with a birthday card, and it's confiscating that money, there's a fucking problem. A huge fucking problem.
$5?
Dude, yes. They scan every package, and any package with money in it, they confiscate the money and then send on the rest.
That's
And
you know what that's called?
tyranny,
No, theft.
totalitarianism, theft.
Theft.
Where would you like to start? uh,
I want my 2 pounds pounds of flesh. So who's it going to be? You know, the guy who stole the money.
yeah.
Oh, you're from the postal service. I'll have your head on a plate.
Well, you know, the narcos can get it all done, no problem. No problem. They have no problem. Is Frank here? I didn't see Frank. Channel 1-800 dumb. Where the heck is he? I don't think he's here yet. But I'm still trying to get caught up in the chat. But yeah, no, these people are fucking stealing from everybody. And I mean, I think the DHL person that Eric was talking to said that at the time they had already confiscated about fucking 12 or 13 million dollars worth of cash just from people sending gifts and stuff to family and friends or stuff, something along those lines. Yeah, they're just confiscating all kinds of cash. And it's just fucking sick if you ask me. Pissed me right the fuck off.
Damn.
Yeah, I might. Is Frank in here as somebody else? Because he could be. He's a fucking sneaky little bastard sometimes. He's almost like the boogeyman, or that trickster, at the office. You're just thinking everything's a fucking gag with every
Yeah.
random person you don't know. I mean, fucking Real Talk came in last night. Somebody else. Oh, there he is. There you are, you bastard. But yeah, Real Talk came in as somebody else last night, and we thought it was fucking Frank. Oh, fuck. So, hey, I'll drop the link for you, Frank. It's just for Frank, but I'll drop the link for you, brother. You come on in. Come on in. I was hoping D-Man would make it, but it doesn't look like he has. I'll send him a text. Let's see if I can reach him.
Outlaw, that looks like a some nice dinner time.
Yeah, he did very well. He did very well, Frank. But I still thought it was you. I really did. I thought it was you. I was just like, fuck, that's Frank. But he's like, wait, he's doing a really good job. I don't hear that moly accent. Fuck. But yeah, I got D-Man's channel linked up there, guys, for anybody that hasn't subbed to him yet. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. That's what's pinned up in the pinned comments. And, if you haven't subbed to him already, go do a brother a favor. Give him a sub.
Well, it should be second nature, because whenever you sub for someone's channel, you should regularly do it.
Nature, because whenever
feedback
for someone's channel.
Now, is it Frank or Real Talk? It's Frank.
You already know.
It's Frank. You never know. Sketchy bastards.
I know. Wow. Takes one to know. It takes one to know one, Chris.
Yeah, I think we all kind of feel the same way on that one.
Yeah.
But
Bunch of fucked individuals, aren't we?
but anyway, you should always resub and check out whether or not you are getting notification from the bell. I do it regularly because I don't get notification from anybody.
Well, I mean, some notifications I get, and they're like days out, right? So sometimes I don't even check out the time on it. I just wait for it to actually start up again. But a lot of times they don't show me those, and instead they'll just do a startup, even though I can look back and see that he posted this fucking this announcement for the live stream like hours before, sometimes like the previous day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even with Ike and Scott, if Scott does it with Scotty's side, right, it pops up. If Ike does it with Serious Cast, it only pops up just before it's about to start. So that 30-minute warning, right? That's it.
Yeah.
And that's just how some of those go. What's up, brother Hermit? So, Frankie, our New Zealand brother. How are things over there, Betty?
Oh, we're still alive, brother. Alive. I've got to preface it by saying, brother, I'm just a normal one of you guys. I'm just a normal run-of-the-mill guy, and so I don't, I'm nothing really special. You're all special to me, and I'm sure I'm special in some ways, but I would rather, if you need to know something about me, I can tell you to some extent, but
well, I mean, we've heard clips of your story.
Okay, fair enough.
But you know what?
If anyone wants to jump into the StreamYards, because I like to I'm a wallflower, brother. You know me. I can be a wallflower.
I know you're part Moley, right? So we can forgive you for that. We'll let that slide.
I can't forgive myself, Chris.
Well, it's
Just
okay.
kidding.
It's okay.
Just kidding.
But no, we'd like to know more about your story. I mean, you were married. You do have kids, right?
I have one, yeah.
You have one son.
Yeah.
And you know, you're a son yourself. You take care of your dad. Tell us,
Yes,
like, what happened? Because I mean, I don't think we've ever gotten the lowdown on your relationship and how fucking shit went south. But we obviously know it did because, well, you're here. You know what I mean? So if you're comfortable with sharing it, you know, it doesn't have to be full details, but like, how long were you married? You know, what started the divorce? Didn't you say she ran off to Australia, or she's from Australia?
No. For plausible deniability, my name is Hines, I think, so I'm doing a real talk. Real talk. So that's right. That's plausible deniability, right?
Okay, if you need that.
Well, I'm just thinking about the internet forever thing. I was 18 years I was there. I come from a background of a very wooden religious background from my family. I was brought up that way in many ways. So therefore I adopted the same wooden things after I was later on in life, after I'd gone through the naughty patch that many of us in here, anyone who can jump in, they can. Long story, short. So 18 years it was. Frank was, my alter ego, the one that I don't use anymore because it's my first name. Francis, my second name. So there's an 8-year age gap. There was an 8-year age gap. I was doing very well in life, working very well in manufacturing and stuff like that, making good cash. I shit in my own, excuse my language, Chris.
Don't worry about
it. I know.
So anyway, language is not anything you need to worry about here.
Not for a Canadian, eh?
Not for this fucking Canadian, that's for sure.
every time I post on Dax channel now, I'm doing the old eh.
You bastards. Racist bastards.
The nice pint, yay.
I don't know. In Denmark, Bachelor, is there any things that, I mean, all I can think of is clogs or something. I'm not offending anyone, I hope, but what's the go-to thing for you guys? Bachelor?
Any stereotypes?
Stereotype, yeah.
Other than you wear wooden shoes and your girls are fat with braids.
Wooden shoes? No. That's Holland.
Oh, same
The
difference.
Dutch guys.
Same difference.
They milk cows, Chris. They milk cows. That's Holland.
Well,
the clogs. Garben.
See, now that's racist.
Damn.
Sorry, buddy.
Nah, that's half of the population is anyway off grid for vacation at this current time. So who gives a shit?
Well, carrying on, Frank.
Well, I know Chris.
Was she 8 years older than you or 8 years younger than you?
Oh no, well, younger than me.
No, that's good. I was gonna say
I'm 55, so
she was probably robbed in the cradle.
Yeah. She was younger than I.
hey, young meat.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
They usually
And,
are.
Yeah, she got this meat, and it is what it is. Well, so after that time, throughout the whole time, it was. I don't want to keep too much time because I'd like people. If people want to jump in, like
Nobody else is coming in.
Okay, well, so coming from that wooden point of view, look, I've got to be careful here because this is a public forum, and Um, well, so I no, it's too deep, Chris. We have to do that backstage, brother. But I'll give you a brief rundown because
Okay.
you know a lot. You know a lot about me, Chris. You know a lot about me. Or, many things about me that many people don't, and others do. Indy knows. A lot of people do actually.
Well, I mean,
By
this
the
is
way,
just what you want to share, what you're willing to share, buddy. You know what I
yeah.
mean? If you don't want to go into too much details because of certain reasons, that's totally fine. What's the
Not because of
relationship like with your kid? Like, did you have to go through the battles? Like, tell us what your side of the story was.
it was good. It was very good. I think I was a very good dad. I did give him. Well, I won't even say that on here, but I was never. I'm not a violent man, and I know that many people, and you as well, and lots of us have the capacity, but we don't exercise the capacity. Doesn't feature in my world. I was a good dad, I believe, but I think, and if Angler is in the chat, I'm not sure if he's here or not. He's done long researches on things like disorders of personality. Now, how far we go with that, I'm not sure, but I don't suffer from those things. However, I believe that his, because I'm Frank now, I believe that the ex suffered from a deliberate personality. There's a difference between having asthma and getting cancer. Those things are not necessarily choices. You could be a non-smoker.
Mm-hmm.
You could just be born with cancer, or born with asthma, born with I don't know, athlete's foot, possibly. I don't know. But you can't be born making deliberate decisions in life to mess other people up. Some people are that way. You can have a family of, say, 5, 6 people, and they've all been abused. But one of those people will make it because of their fight or flight, whatever it is. Maybe it's in childhood. This is too big, but beyond me. That they choose a certain course of action, and you don't know. It's hard to know, I guess, Chris, when you're playing a game and you don't even know you're playing a game, but everyone else and a certain person, your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
is playing a game with you. I mean, then you don't know you're playing a game. You get fucked. So it was 18 years. It was 18 years of watching flirting. I remember my core beliefs at that time were you cannot leave the marriage, because this was a
You had a kid with her.
wooden. Sorry, Bachelor.
You had a kid with her. That's
I did, yeah, and that was an unintended. But now, be careful. Unintended does not mean unwanted. If my kid sees this one day, and he may, he's old enough by now. Then I don't.
I don't think any of us, no matter what our kids say or believe, can honestly say that our kids were unwanted. It's not our kids that are
Nope.
unwanted. It was their mothers generally in the end.
I agree 100%, Chris, brother.
And
yeah.
that happens every day. That shouldn't be held against any kid or any parent.
I'm 100% beyond.
my kids were wanted because we tried 4 years before she got pregnant. So it was premeditated.
Yeah.
That's
So
good. That's
Hey,
good.
that's some people's case, man. It wasn't like we tried to have 3 kids together. We just ended up having them, and they were great.
Yeah, we had sort of a twin situation. That is, it is present in present in my family anyway. So, oops, one extra turned out to be 2 extra. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
And
well, with a nice thing, I will say Tom's looks like Ray Liotta. That's a compliment too. So it was a very nice compliment. That's good. So you had twins at the same time, Bachelor, and how did that go? Like, are you guys still together? Because I've spoken to you on a couple of times, but are you guys still, or was it?
nope,
Sorry.
separated.
Okay.
That was in 2008, and the divorce was finalized in 2010.
Wow. So they were only 2 years old.
Nah, they were born in 2002.
Oh, I thought you said they were born in 2008.
No, I separated from their mother in 2008.
Oh, okay, my bad.
They're pretty grown in Bachelor, I guess. Like 2002, they must be 20 or around that area, maybe.
Yep.
Okay. May I ask, do you have contact with them, sir?
Yeah, sort of. It's on their term, but when you can us all we can remember how we were when we were about 20 years old. We had friends and we wanted to go into the city and have a ball and drink and the usual stuff that when your hormones in your body races around. So it's not every day. It's about each month I get probably a couple of messages from them, but they don't live in the same city as I am, so they're pretty effed up
You know,
by the pricing of train tickets and what have we. So that's it about it.
no, I mean, I understand that. I mean, Jesus, I'm a kid that moved away from my parents, my hometown. I went to the other end of the fucking country. That was my first time away from home. You know what I mean? And to go back, I mean, it's a couple grand just for one person. That's just for fucking flights.
Yeah.
It would have been easier for our parents to come visit us. But my mother is the type of person that will never leave that island. You know what I mean? It's sort of like a prisoner that's been in jail for too long and can't handle the outside world. That's how I view her. So she's afraid of flying. She's afraid of the open ocean. She won't travel long distances in cars. You know what I mean? And it's all been excuses, really, that she used. Now she believes she's just too old. It's like, is there anything else? So, I mean, in the end, it was her kind of holding herself back. But it is what it is, right?
Can I come with a comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
The comment that Gunside won was pointing out no single mothers.
Yeah.
Ain't that funny how it goes about if you turn the single mothers but single fathers? You state that instead of single mothers. That's
Well, with that, like I said, I believe that there is a difference between a single mother and a single parent.
no, as I said, the single father.
Well, I mean, single father, single mother. I mean, generally there's a difference, right? I mean, mostly we know mothers get sole custody of the children, right? And that isn't always because the guy wants nothing to do with his kid. Most of the times, that's her choice. She knows that the family courts will side with her. We know that, right? And that's why they use them in the way that they do. So single mothers, the difference between a single mother and a single parent, whether it be mother or father, is choice. There's a choice there, right? So, let's take Sam, for example, here. Sam is a married woman with kids. If she leaves her husband tomorrow or her and her husband split up, she has a choice to do everything in her power to get sole custody and physical placement of those children, to extort cash and prizes, right? Or she has a choice to work things out so that both parents are involved in those children's lives, which is the right thing to do. So it's a
Yeah.
choice. Men very rarely win custody of their children. Very rarely. Right? Like it's such a small number. It's not even worth mentioning, you know what I mean? But there are the odd cases. And in most of those cases, it's simply because the mother doesn't want anything to do with the kids. It's not the same choice. It's not the same reasons when it comes to a mother getting sole custody of the children. Generally, she goes in, she says whatever she wants to get sole custody and physical placement of the children, and she wins. That's just a fact. So,
Yeah, that's right.
and that's a conscious decision that she makes.
That's right. Yeah,
Because
that's
as we stated last night, and it'll hold up true today and tomorrow, most women don't actually love their children. They see them as property. They are
Like pawns.
objects that they own and to be used when they want to and how they want to.
They see
That's
them
what
as
children
chess
are.
pieces.
So if she wants to use them to extract cash and prizes from the state or the father, that's what they are. If she
think-
wants to use them as protection, right, from being run down or called a terrible person or a terrible parent, that's what she'll do. Sorry, Frank, go ahead.
I think last night CDP was talking about something like that as well with his mum as well. Mum, and so everyone does seem to have a different. Oh shit! For a second there, Chris, I thought my name said Hitler. It's Heinz. No, but I think CDP was talking about that last night as well, brother. Yeah, his mum, he loves his mum and all that, but then like a love-hate relationship. I'm not going to speak for him. I know he's in the chat somewhere, so. But yeah, there are people, but I think the vast majority, Chris, and they do have the thing. And I think in America, at least, I'm not sure about Canada. I don't even know about this place, but I think it's 8% of men will get it. Like Sam, as you know, Sam could do it right now. My one, my story, a little bit of my story, just took him away. But what's more, I think the narcissist, and this is what I've been researching. I've been red pilled for 10 years. After he was born, and I was red pilled that, but I didn't look at the other things that could add to, I think, the knowledge of red pill, which is narcissism. I think not psychopathy necessarily. Some of them are psychopaths. There are so many stories, but I think narcissism is the biggest thing, and unfortunately, that goes very deep. But mine was taken away. So, and at the moment, he is about. And you know his name, you know my email, you've got all that, but it's in the back chat. And I trust 99% of people in here, but hey, Susan's always watching, right? And
Oh, yeah. Well, let's say hello to Brother Bolo. And you know what, Bolo, brother, you're absolutely right. The men are chess pieces as well, but it's generally, cash and prizes that they extract from them at the end. Sorry, Frank, go ahead. Yeah, no, you don't have to worry about us leaking your information or anything like that.
I don't mean you guys. I don't mean the people. I trust Samantha P. She's pretty good. Okay. Look, long story short. With the wooden view of looking at life and hundreds of times of night clubbing after we had put the ring on it. Okay, look, I've got to be careful now with what I say because who never knows if the boy. See, I never smeared her. Well, I tried not to smear her. Unfortunately, I did a couple of times while it was still a thing. Mm-hmm. That was a couple of years back now, 3 years, let's say 3 years. And I was very careful, the best I could be, because I thought this is injustice going on. Now, the whole church will turn against you. So I stopped going to church. I have most of my friends, and I've got a close inner circle of friends, and I consider people in here my friends as well. But I keep it very short. And in fact, there's a guy dying, if he's not dead right now, Not sure, but he's up in the hospital just down the road. And so basically it was meet somebody that you thought was very ebullient. I was at the top of my game. I was in very good shape. Let's just say that. I was not a virgin, but I'd kept myself for a long time. Not as much as Hammer, but I won't speak for him because he's not here. But he's made a public record. But I was in my early to mid 20s before I actually did it. Let's just say after that I made up. I'm nearing 50 now. I made up for lost time, and boy, did I make up for lost time. Because it wasn't in my wheelhouse. I had some values that I considered core beliefs based on things. Anyway, I made up for a hell of a lot of it. After looking at the state of things. So concerning that one, it was basically hell, really. I blamed it on youth. The person was 19 at the time, and I blamed it on youth. And we had a lot of, there were social things and stuff like that. I never looked at another person. And believe me, there were a lot of attractive females around. And, if I were a player, but I didn't even look at them, because once I focused my mind in that certain way, I was done. That was me. I'm committed. Put a ring on it about 6 months into it. We're going back a long time now, almost 2 decades. Put a ring on it 6 months into it. There was an engagement, bit of money there. 6 months after that, there were stories that came out at my workplace, and I thought, what? And it came from 3 different male sources. One of them I trusted a lot. The other one was dumb as a piece of shit, sack of bricks. He couldn't fight his way out of. He could. He's a fighter, ex-jail and all that. And then the third guy, he went back on the story and the other. So there was this big story. I noticed the body language. So this is about 1 year in. That's why I give it 6 months to 4 years for basic females to cheat on you. And there's stories about sucking cock and this and that and the other thing. Oh, yeah. And then after that, I thought, well, it can't be right and this and that. I was very blue pill, Chris, back in those days. That's 20 years ago.
Oh, brother, we all went through that phase where we wouldn't even believe it if we saw it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like no matter what we had experienced during certain times. Like I had my rebellious phase too, where I did the exact same shit with women in the exact same position, whether they were engaged, had a long-term boyfriend, married, and I know what they do. But I didn't want to believe it when it was told to me about, one of my girlfriends, right? Or, in your case, fiance type wife to be, we don't want to believe it sometimes because we have those blinders on, right?
Yeah.
We get love struck. Pussy blind, I like to call it.
Yeah, my case, it was more romantic. I was published twice as a poet. No, by the way, my icon is a dedication to Shinobi, who's our local poet, and he's from my country. And one day he will come and meet me. I'm sure we'll hook up at some stage and we'll have a couple of beers or so. Mine was romantic as well because by that time I'd had some carnal relations, as we would say. But I thought, well, I was always looking to try to, you can't see me, but scare quotes, I'm doing scare quotes, make everything right in my eyes, in the eyes of God. Obviously, it's only in the eyes of the state. I mean, your countries can't, how can a country say you're married or not? Well, a country will say, you go and marry that dog over there. Or, I don't know, maybe someone could, a homeless bum. Not a bum, sorry to be offensive. So that's what happened. So I had a large amount of angst going into it. Around about 2 years after that, it was done. I bought more rings, many more rings, very nice rings. And it was still a consistent, hundreds of times would be the amount of times that she went clubbing while I stayed home and played chess. I started drinking more and more. because there was an agitation that started to arise even after I'd put the ring on. It doesn't matter. Hundreds, in the hundreds. I saw the flirting a lot, an awful lot, and I thought, man, what's wrong with me? I'm not terribly good looking. I'm pretty good. I've got means and resources, and I didn't think about resources back then. And in those days, in those blue pill days, brother, I thought that a woman could actually love a man the same way a man could love a woman. That's why sometimes I've typed. There are billions of men's bodies strewn upon the fields of war, and I don't see many female bodies. I don't want any female bodies on there. Just want to take my ball and walk away. And then I saw a lot of flirting. I saw a couple of texts, seen a lot of things and it really guilt. But the thing is, I said 2 years before my first discard, about 6 years ago, I said to my father, I can't take this. This is too much. I'm by that time, by the way, I'd been, okay, I don't want to think here, docs must happen. Let's just say I'd been in a very dark place for 13 months, every single day. A very dark place, let's just say that.
Yeah.
Not doxing myself. Fuck, I mean, I don't give a, excuse my language, but I don't care about that. I'm just saying I'd been in a very dark place every single day for 13 months. Driving to work, every truck I saw, all the thoughts, all the time. And I didn't know what was going on. I got intimacy 4 to 10 times a year over 18 years. So that was, I thought to myself, that's interesting, because in my previous things, people, look, I'm not bragging or anything, but I had a couple of people who really, really liked me. They really were like, wow. And they were not, but so I thought this is a very different animal. Anyway, I told my, let's just say, pastor, who was also my father, I said, I've got to leave this. This is unhealthy. And it left me after 13 months. Many years later, I told him, I've got to leave this situation because this is really destroying me. I did not know at that time what narcissism was, and I certainly was just exploring passive aggression. By that time, I'd been red-pilled for a long time, but my moral compass was good. I never cheated. I never did anything like that. Didn't look, didn't do anything. And sex 4 to 10 times a year is, well, it's defined as a sexless marriage. So for him,
dude,
yeah.
Like, I don't even have a relationship technically with my son's mom, right?
Yeah.
Anytime I want to peel a strip off that ass, I'm gonna get it. My ex-wife, who was my wife, wasn't even good enough for that. So it really is dependent on the woman in most cases, but that type of manipulation, because they know it matters to us, right? Eventually you got to drain the poison,
Yeah,
from a guy, or everything goes south.
Yeah,
they use that as a weapon. That is one of the weapons they use every day.
understood.
When you're blue pilled, you accept that. When you're red pilled, that's not a case. That is not the case. There is no, at least as far as I know, there shouldn't be anyway, any sexless relationship between a red pilled man and a woman, because
Absolutely.
the second she starts using that shit as her weapon, she's replaced.
You as a man is out the door.
Yeah.
And if you're living with a woman and she's definitely not her period, and you know that she likes it like you do, and you are not getting anything, you know for a fact that she is getting it somewhere else.
Hey, I wouldn't care if she was ragging. If she's ragging, she's gonna suck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
I'm
sorry. Well, even my own
out the door.
Yeah, my own mother, who was a turbo religious woman, right, or is a turbo religious woman, stated to us children when we were all like of different ages. I was pretty young, but I remember it very vividly. She said it multiple times. She used feeding a person as a reference to sex, right? And she stated, if you don't feed a man at home, meaning if you don't take care of his sexual needs at home, he will go eat in someone else's kitchen. Meaning
yeah.
he'll go slam some other pussy. And that was a religious woman from
Yep.
fucking back in the, like, she was born in like the 50s. Come
I've
on.
heard that. I've actually heard that too.
Yeah. This is a concept that is lost now. Lost. Right? I mean, you can have problems. You can have disagreements. You can have, full-on arguments about how things should be done or what is going on and, why things are so difficult for you guys to see eye to eye on things. That has nothing to do with your duties that you have still to your partner. So a man has his duties, right? Like they all love to remind us that we need to still have. However, they seem to have forgotten that they had duties as well. And sex is one of them. Yes, bitch. I don't care how fucking offended you fucking get. Sex is one of them. That's a duty that you have to fucking provide to your partner. Sorry, don't like it? Get the fuck out now. Right now. Pack your shit, find your fucking next location, and fuck off. Go find someone like-minded when it comes to that shit. But don't come in and expect a man to uphold his roles, whether they be traditional or not, and then as a woman in even the modern age, believing that, oh, I don't have any modern roles. There's nothing that applies to me. I don't have any duties I'm upheld to. No, sorry, that's not how this works. But you see, they've been doing it and getting away with it for so long that they all believe it.
Yep.
And even though the world is on fire around them and the idea of marriage and relationships and children and families has all been destroyed, they are still living in that delusion that their way of thinking, because they want it to be that way, is the reality. Sorry, it's not. That's why we are all fucking going our own way, right? Sorry, I went off on a bit of a tangent, but
No, it was
sorry,
good.
Greg.
I agree.
Go ahead.
I agree with what you said. I'll continue
Absolutely.
briefly. Briefly, it took 1 week to consummate the wedding. I'm not sure why that was. I spent a lot of money. Well, yeah, quite a bit of money on the rings and this and that, holding to my blue pill Christian. Sorry, when I say Christian, no. Wooden idea of the beliefs that people had construed. And this goes back also, there's a big backstory to that. But so 1 week just to consummate. Also, when the odd consummation would happen, it would often be after she's coming back home from the nightclubs, which, as I said before, happened hundreds of times. Travel all over the place, all the islands to Australia, here and there and everywhere, and doing this and that and the other thing. The photographs I've got, and I'm sure I've shown you, Chris. This is the type of person I was dealing with. I thought
you
that the
haven't shown me any
person.
photographs.
I will backstage, brother, at some stage. I can't do it right now.
No, that's fine.
But I will. And so apart from that, and so the years went by, but long time. So times went by. By that time, she'd basically sucked. Chris, you often use the term about vampires and stuff, eh?
Yeah,
And,
vampires and succubus.
Succubus. It was an absolute succubus on everything. My physique went down. Everything went down. My mental state went down. My emotions went down. My money, oh boy. And then by the time you're done, this is Briffault's law. Well, it's not. Well, it's a narcissistic thing. When they've sucked you dry, and you've got no more means of supply to give them, whatever the means of supply is, it could be a boss. It doesn't have to be an intersexual dynamic. It could be any sort of means. It could be your boss. When you've sucked your boss dry, when your boss has sucked you dry as a worker or something like that, it could be in any sphere. When your family relatives have sucked you dry and you're left as basically a living husk of yourself, a shell, half the man I used to be, Scott Weiland. I'm half the man I used to be. Well, when they've done that, they move on because they're already grooming other people. Grooming is a popular word these days, especially with Disney. They're grooming other suppliers the whole time, all the way through,
Well, they're vetting other men while they're with you
all the time.
all the time. And I mean, even when they decided to pick you as their new to be boyfriend or whatever the case may be, Frank,
Yeah.
they didn't throw away the runner-ups number. You know what I
No.
mean? That guy's still in her little black book,
Yeah.
right? And if she can't find anyone better while she's with you to replace him, she will go back to that guy and call him up.
Yes, she will. She's got a big Rolodex there. And the other thing, apart from the 1 week, which threw up a lot of red flags, but by that time I was blue pilled, so I didn't know what a red flag was. She had been with some guys. Now, some of these guys I didn't know about until after I'd put the engagement on it, which was 6 months, because I thought I'll do the right thing before God. She told me that she'd been with certain. Well, I know exactly who she'd been with, so I times that by 3. We know that from our kind of community. That's a basic. That's fundamental thing. You could times it by 10, but that's a ballpark figure. As always, if they say I've had 7 boyfriends, well, times it by, that's 21.
Yeah,
So
times it by 3.
some of these guys were exactly. Now, one of them was. Some of them were actually people that I were acquaintances and kind of mates. One of them I played gridiron with. We won that season. That's before I met the narcissist, the abuser. And he's now. These guys are 6 foot 6, 6'4". One of them is a world class athlete, and I won't say the name. And I liked him. He gave me rides around, home once. And I liked him enough, but it didn't come out until after I'd put that ring on him. So this would be dealing with an alpha widow. She went with a world class, very famous, handsome, muscular guy who played for a world class, in fact, the best in the world team. I can't compete with that. Doesn't matter if I've got I think I had a 6-pack at one stage, almost all 6, almost. But I was fit. I was very, very fit, strong, and all that. I don't care about talking about that, but I was good, and I could. Some of her friends were, it was a cluster F, Chris. It was a clusterfuck. Fuck it. It was a clusterfuck. I know you're Canadian, eh? So it was a clusterfuck, mate. And anyway, I put up with that for a long, long time. Then such a long time. And I saw, I've got a photo. I'll show it to you at some stage, backstage sometime. And no, it was an absolute thing. But look, so I said to my father, the pastor of the church for 45 years, whose main magnum opus was, whatever you do, you can't leave. You can't get a divorce. Now, this is wrong thinking. I've researched the Hebrew and the Greek, and I always believed that. But after, so I waited for 2 more years. She came into the room. We were living in the same house, which was a very nice house, almost, quite. Let's just say quite a bit of money. And I thought, one more fight. I mean, like when she instigates something, one more time, and I'm just, So I took some antidepressants just for a little while, for about a year.
Right.
They didn't do anything. They didn't affect me in any way. They didn't hurt, or I don't know if they helped or not, but I just thought, fuck this. I can't even leave. My father said to me, whatever you do, and my father, you'd love my father, but he's very black and white, the most you'll ever find. Most forthright man in the world. He said, whatever you do,
Probably
whatever
very
you
old
do.
school.
Oh, he's 1947 birthday.
So
Yeah.
like total old school.
Very, yeah. He said, whatever you do, don't leave the family house. So I thought, fuck, I'm in hell. I've been through things. He knew about these things, but he's always there because he made his bones in that church on marriage, divorce, and remarriage. Now, that church, which we can abbreviate to COC, C-O-C, the Church of Christ. Yeah, we can abbreviate that to a big, fat fucking cock. Well, and that's why I don't go anymore. Now, it's not that I have given up my beliefs in what I believe in, but I don't attend church anymore. It is a completely feminized. Anyway, I lasted 2 more years, and I waited, and it was a fucking shit show all around. And eventually, she went once for 7 months. And now here's the thing about narcissists. And Good Mother would know about this because she seems, and also Angler would know about this because he's got a library full of books. The narcissist accumulates flying monkeys. So the narcissist also runs a smear campaign from the very first time you meet them. And mine was 18 years. So that's 18 years of shit run on me, you know, like running their mouth behind the scenes. And so by that time you think, what the fuck? Now, and when they leave you, so they left, she left, and I thought, fuck this. But I'm still chased, right? I'm still chased. I haven't done anything. I haven't become one flesh, shall we say, in the King James Old Testament version of it, you know. So I'm still like, fuck, what the hell? That hit me out of the blue. And then her supply dried up. And then she come back 7 months later, and then she went again. And if you, I helped her get back. At that time I had a trailer. I owned a trailer, and so I came back and this and that and the other thing. The whole thing was a clusterfuck. I'm not even scratching the surface, Chris. And I think I'm guarding my words carefully so no one can actually spring me on it.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about anybody springing you on the details that you're giving us here.
I don't mean the people in our brotherhood here and a couple of sisters, Sam's here, and I don't know who else. I don't mean you guys, those guys, all of us, our family here. But I mean anyone could be watching, and so I haven't named any names. And anyway, after the second one, it was done, and I won't admit anything else. But after the second one, I made sure that everything was out of the house. And I made sure of that everything was out of. Let's just put it that way. We can the things we say in public.
Was she stealing shit and fucking like selling?
Oh fuck yeah! Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, the whole way through.
I think I got a pretty decent read on the type of person you had there, homie. I've met women like her, and fortunately, none of them were mine, right? Or in my bed, but I have a very good understanding of the type of person you're talking about. I mean, Chris, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you met a girl from my country in South Island, right?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I dated a chick for 2 years from Christchurch.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't like that though. She was an actual Nawalt. She was like a fucking anomaly in some weird way. Now she didn't have the motherly side of her like most women do, but you know, she cared, right? I mean, she was there throughout the nights when I couldn't sleep, and all I did was sit up and sob about missing my kids, right? I mean, she was the one that was there sobbing with me. You know, she was a great person. And even though she wanted nothing to do with the idea of children, right? She was still a very caring person when it came to the well-being of, you know, myself and my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she was an anomaly that way. But I mean, at the same time, when she left New Zealand to go on this work visa tour for a few years, she had a boyfriend at home.
Who? What?
Great.
Yeah, they're in New Zealand. Like she had a boyfriend there in New Zealand. Now, after I guess a year and a half of being gone, without even mentioning the fact that they were seeing other people, he had moved on as well. But at the same time, they didn't technically end their relationship. You know what I mean?
Oh, Chris, I don't understand. You were with the lady because we've spoken a little bit about it, but so you went with her to Canada, or she met you in Canada and stuff like that.
Yeah. She was on a work abroad kind of visa.
Okay.
Right. And she got into the program by like the skin of her teeth because they don't allow people over a certain age, right? But she got on it, and she had been touring around Canada, you know, working at these odd jobs at the places like resorts and stuff where she wanted to go visit, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when she met me, she came down to the island, and, you know, that's where we hooked up and visited for a while, and we worked, you know, in the same city. She had a job, you know, working for I believe it was one of those like B&B kind of like horse ranches things, right? I never actually went to see it, but yeah. And, you know, eventually she was working with me, right? So she was, and I mean, it took a year or a year and a half before she even admitted that she had a boyfriend when she left New Zealand,
Oh man.
right? And I mean,
Mm.
that only came up when she was like, "Oh, he's finally moved on with somebody else." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, so wait a minute, you mean to tell me that the whole time you've been here, you technically been in a relationship with a guy in New Zealand,
Yeah.
and you've been gone so long that he has just like literally just moved on because you haven't reached out to him or what?
Dump her
I was
Oh.
like,
on the spot.
well, I mean, that doesn't give you a lot of reassurance, right? I mean,
Nope.
I've always had the old saying that if she'll cheat on her partner
Yeah.
with you, she'll cheat
Yeah.
on you.
Somebody
Right.
else.
Right.
Yeah.
So I
It's
was like,
just
and
your turn.
yeah, it's just your
Yeah.
turn. And I mean, I understand that after so long, yeah, okay, it's gonna get pretty obvious, you know, that there's nothing going on there anymore. But I mean, still, she went through the whole process, right?
Yeah.
Now she went back to New Zealand after 2 years, but because I was in such a red pill rage phase,
Mm.
like
Mm.
even though we were together for 2 years
Mhm.
or almost 2 years, like I didn't care for her at all.
Yeah.
Outside of a human being, I didn't care for her at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is the
That's
woman that was sharing my bed, right? That's where I knew like something must be damaged in me, right? And I
not on
couldn't
you,
understand what it was.
but Chris, the damage is not on you. The damage is on the two-faced, Janus-faced, guile-filled liar that you were with. I mean, that's the problem. You know, they're not being transparent, not being honest. They didn't cut their.
No,
Um,
I mean,
so you know.
you're right. I mean, the damage that my ex-wife did to me when she used our kids against me,
Yeah.
it was soul crushing. Like literally, something right now, and I see it as like a defense mechanism. You know, like even though we may not encounter certain things because of our geographical locations, we identify predators. You know what I
Yes.
mean? We can look at an animal, although we've never seen it before, and we can say, you need to be afraid of that because
Yep.
this creature has the traits of a predator. And it's bigger than you, it's faster than you, it's better armed than you are. You could be lunch. So be afraid. That's a natural response, right? That
Yeah.
your brain does to basically protect you. And I
Yes.
believe that because of the damage my ex-wife did with, you know, the divorce and the kids and stuff like that, my brain does not allow me to actually get emotionally attached to women because it's protecting me. It's like, no, we're putting up a wall, we're turning off the fucking lights in this room, and this doesn't happen anymore, which
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
So I've been with 4 or 5 women since my divorce. Actually, it's more like 7, but who's counting? Anyway,
We'll in a man's case, we'll have to reduce that by half.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry.
But I mean, like, you know, not
I'm
all
kidding.
of them were relationships. Some of them were, you know, just bang buddies, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Friends with benefits.
yeah, and some of them
Absolutely,
weren't. I
yeah,
mean,
that's
I was vetting 2 of them for like girlfriend positions, right?
Yeah.
And one of them just said something. She said something strange and a little bit out of the way, you know, when it came to, you know, parents and kids, right? Something to do with parental rights or children's rights or something like that. And
Yeah.
something in my brain triggered, and I was like, okay, I have to get the fuck away from this woman and never speak
Yeah.
to her again.
Yep. Yep.
Within 10 minutes, I was like, I gotta leave. I'm not feeling well. I'm just gonna go
Yep.
home. Didn't
Gotcha.
give her a kiss or anything. Good night. And I had been
Yep.
dating her for like fucking a month and a half.
Yep.
Never. The last text I sent her was like, I don't think anything's here, so I'm out. That was
Good.
it. And that was from a couple words. A couple words
Yeah.
kind of put me into the mindset of, this is exactly how my ex-wife thinks. This is exactly how like the social workers think. And I was like, this bitch is fucking dangerous. Get the fuck away.
Yep.
Right? Red flags. All of
Yep.
them went up at once.
Yep.
And to even mention her fucking name used to send chills down my fucking spine.
Yeah.
All from a fucking sentence. You know what I mean?
Yep. You were beginning. You'd taken the red pill by then, Chris. Eh? You'd
Yeah.
understood.
No, I was red pilled by then, but I was still going through my red pill phase, right? Or
Yeah,
red pill
yeah.
rage phase. Like
Yeah,
I felt shitty. I felt sorry for myself, and you know, I was like, I still didn't quite understand it, and I was like, all this fucking shit is completely unfair, right? I was going through that phase, but I was
Yeah.
also dealing with the separation and grief from my children, so they came first, right?
All named after angels too. At least that's a good
Yeah.
thing, brother.
Yeah,
I
well,
won't name them here, but
they
I
all
know
have biblical
yeah.
names, yeah, biblical.
I know, yeah. I know
I tr-
the names. I won't say it on here, but
Well, it's all good. It's all good, man. I mean, those boys are my whole world, right? And
Yeah.
with my defense mechanism being up and
Yeah,
always on,
Yeah.
the bonus is, I guess the bonus and the curse is
Mhm.
that they're all that's left to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's never going to be anything quite good enough to be a distraction from the sorrow. You know what I mean? Hard to explain, I guess, a little bit. But
I understand. We've spoken about that. It is hypervigilance, Chris. You become hypervigilant for a while. I was in my when I was there, I was hypervigilant. But you know, look, I know, you know, clips and stuff. Hammerhand is a bit of a. I know you're smoking. I'm going to light up another one, cigarette. That is.
yeah,
And hyper it comes up, and your little one, mate, he's a cutie, bro. He's a cutie. Same with Angler, and same with many people. You know, lots of people here. I don't know if father's in here, but he's a good dad. So when it comes to the kids, that's why it's a real big thing. And I'll finish my story, bro. But then, if you want me to, I'll dip back into the off thing. So anyway, she took mine away the second time. Took him away for good. And that's when I said, yeah, okay, done. And that's by that time, even though I'd been red pilled for many, many years, since Barbarossa, since Pop was an MRA, before Barbarossa even, I was searching and searching. And then after the second discard, I thought, fuck this, I'm out. And what's more, I had good plausible deniability to my preacher, who was so wooden on it, and that's when I did that, and I thought, fuck, now I'm a free man. It says, and who said in the chat? Someone I know him too. They were doing it. I think he's a European guy, saying if they leave you in the eyes of God, because I am a believer and I love my atheist brothers. Don't care. We're all in this together, and sisters.
supposed to.
Yeah. I said to myself, this is it. That's it. It's done. I am free. In the Greek, they call it odidulate. That's the Greek name of it. And in the, there's a whole lot of reasons. You see, that's why it's so wooden. It's a very wooden big cock. But it's a very wooden sort of way of looking at the world. And after that, I'm a free man, and I've been free basically. I could have been free for 3 years, but it's been 2 years, I think. Yeah, 2 years now, and I'm free. And I've used the old man, even though I'm an old man. I've had to, you know, I've made up for a lot of lost time, and I've got a big. Well, it is what it is, but and then so after that, and that's it. And I went complete ghost. It's complete ghost, total ghost. Doesn't know where I live in, and that's good. And I'm doing well. The money that was ripped from me, Chris, was a lot. I mean, by now I would have been in a much better position, not Donald Trump position, but I would have been well better. But I'm in a very good position now, a very good position.
I mean, I'm glad that you're financially doing well.
Yeah.
The shitty side is that, you know, if you're not having relationship a relationship with your kid,
Yes.
you know, that's like I said, man. Take a look at what I got. Name your fucking price. Bring me my 3 boys. You can have it. You can have it. You can have it all. And most guys out there will tell you the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The money is great, but it doesn't add up to a fucking pile of beans when it comes to the time that you've lost with your children. And
Yeah.
they know that, right?
Yeah. I know also about, other things about you that, I won't say. But look, I've come to, what do they call it? Radical acceptance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Radical acceptance is when you're in the middle of the ocean and you ain't going to swim home. So you say, well, okay, I'm going to keep swimming. Should I keep swimming? I mean, it's like 1,000,000 miles this way, 1,000,000 miles that way. Should I keep swimming? Nah. So you just think, well, okay, I might as well just lie on my back in the ocean and wait for a shark to take me because I can't do anything about it. And that's the same with my situation. This boy was perverted against me since day dot. I'm sure probably since he was a baby. I was there. I was a good man. I'm still a good man, but I'm a different man now. That's why my first name, and I think others, and the name that my middle name, which is Frankie. That's what I go by now, and I that's the way it is. A complete ghost. I've burnt all the bridges. If the lad, I've given him a lot of money too, but I do it one-on-one. And I've also sworn. It's a funny thing. I watched Johnny Depp in the court case only a couple of months back, wasn't it? And and I always thought he's putting on his glasses all the time. And now this Johnny Depp was only a couple of months ago. I did this 2 years ago. I swore to myself, and I made an oath on my very blood because I'm not afraid. You're not afraid. A lot of people here are not afraid of death. I know there's some tough, as you are, and a lot of tough people on here. People who are not afraid of Jack. Not afraid of death, not one bit. In fact, you have to be afraid of not killing yourself, allegedly. Well, when I saw Johnny Depp and the opening, do you remember the opening of that? Because I did follow that. Reasons being, he did use some language that I thought this is red pill language, even though I don't take his political.
That's because he was talking about his previous marriage and the absolute fucking nightmare he went through for his daughters.
We don't know if any of these guys are watching us now, watching people, big people, any channels now, doing the same search. Could be anyone. But he said as soon as that lady, his lawyer, the nice lawyer, she seemed nice enough, but she was a bit attractive. Not that I give a fuck about attractiveness.
Oh, hey man, there ain't no shame in being willing to slam something. That's
she was attractive. Yeah.
That's just your nature, man.
And she opened off, brother. She opened off with saying, what's her name? Amber Heard. Have you noticed something? I'm paraphrasing because she said, Mr. Depp has not looked at you one time since you've been in the courthouse, correct? And Amber Heard does her thing, looks to the jury she's such a fake ass, and correct, that is correct. And it's like, and did Mr. Depp tell you why he has not looked at you? And she says, no, I don't think so, or something like that. I can't remember all the ins and outs. The thing is, he swore to her, and it was recorded as well. Fuck, he won that case. I didn't know if he would or not because, knowing the Zeitgeist, the spirit of the age, knowing how this spirit of the age is, he said he swore that she would never see his eyes again. Now, I can't particularly do that, but I made an oath that I'm just a ghost. I'm a ghost now. And if I'm going to take a break, it's going to be 40 years, a 40-year break. If I last 40 years, I won't last 40 years. Smoking and drinking as we do, Chris. Aye. But I made that she'll never hear my voice, and she hasn't. She won't hear my voice again. Basically,
hey, can you just give me a minute here? I got to put the little guy to bed. I'll be right back, though.
Sure thing, Chris. Yeah.
Well, the thing that you're talking about is Hammerhand. He's talking about that also in his stream. As a matter of fact, I get his get something out of his trials. I get ideas for coming things that I'm gonna put up. So
I don't know, Bachelor, if you remember, maybe a month or two ago, Hammer did this beautiful one. It was one of the seminals, it was one of the kind of the series that he was doing.
Yep.
Mate, I shouldn't say it on here because you know who's watching, obviously, Susie Q. But he only had that channel for our brother Hammer. But look, I don't want to be a pussy, but I will say I got emotional when I watched his thing, and I saw him driving with his little boy, and I saw his little boy, and I saw his daughter too. And I'm not, not speaking out of turn here. It's a thing.
Yeah.
And his little boy, he puts his head. His dad's driving, big man, big 6'5", burly Hammer, and his little boy and they're just driving, and Hammer's just looking at the road, and his little boy he leans his head to the left, my left, their right, and it was very emotional for me, and his little boy loves him, adores him, and so I thought that was a very good thing. Hammer's a very smart man, and he's one of our. Look, Bachelor, do you have plans on your are you? So you kids they're all grown up now, so I guess well, yeah.
Bachelor, you might have missed that one. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, no, it's.
Did you give the young man, starts with an M? His name starts with an M. Did you give him a hug?
It's Michael.
Mike, I know. I just don't speak out of school.
Oh yeah, I had to give him a hug. He wasn't going to bed. He was going down for pre-bedtime snacks.
Mhm.
So he had to come see Dad and tell me what he was gonna have. So
he's a good little man.
Like I said,
Little
guys,
rat.
it's stuff money can't buy, right? It really, really can't. And rather than go through what I've been through already, what Frank has gone through, what a lot of guys in here,
so many of us, brother.
Yeah. You were mentioning you're going through that exact same shit. Rather than go through that again with his mother, I'll go to criminal courts. Thanks. She mentions family court. She mentions separating me from that kid, and it's all over.
Well, that's right. Now, I was on the stream talking about Hammer, and I know you, and you know what I say all the time, Chris, and I know your response is always, I don't give a fuck. I understand that.
Yep.
But Chronic, alleged, I do it all the time. Chronic and Yeetus and Hammer. Now, Hammer was a bit animated. This is only yesterday when he got PayPal'd, his Chronic's PayPal. I'm wearing his shirt right now. I'll show it to you backstage. Only came today, but you'll see a big picture of Chronic. I'm wearing it right now. They got a bit animating. You have to say, bro, come on, guys. Look, I know, but we take 5 deep breaths. Remember that we're being provoked, and we want to respond, not react. And Hammer was on his form, and we all know our brother Yeet is easy to. Just like myself, I get triggered. I don't get triggered. I could have a discourse with someone who's not on our wavelength, and I would be very monotone, like Sandman. Like, how's that then? Okay, P versus P, then Q, P, therefore Q, and I just make it like that. No, I don't care about personal attacks, but when people attack my people I consider my friends, then I get a little bit riled up. But so that's why I always say allegedly, bro, because you always know that people are watching.
Well, I know they're watching, but you know what? Here's the thing. We've been made to be ashamed of our natural fucking instinct. Not only the natural one, but the right one.
Yes.
When it comes to corruption, when it comes to the destruction of our family, when it comes to the destruction of our children, right?
Yes.
And the abuse of them and us. The fact that people keep using the term non-violent, like non-violent protests, there's a reason why they, especially politicians and government officials, like to use that term, is because they know that if you do a non-violent protest, they win. It's an automatic they win because they don't give a fuck what you say. They don't give a fuck what you prove. They don't give a fuck what you want to see happen. They don't care. They use words for a living. Okay? They do not fucking care about your words. Now, you throw a violent protest in there and you watch them fucking run. That's when you get a reaction. Look at fucking Lightfoot there, especially because she was like the
Oh
prime
my
example,
God.
right?
E.T.? E.T.
Yeah, well, fucking Beetlejuice, whatever you want to call it, right?
Beetlejuice, that's
It was the summer of love until it
Yeah.
showed up on her fucking street because she knew exactly what they were doing in other places and didn't give two fucks. However, when you show up to her house, now she cares because
street.
now there is a real consequence. Real consequence. Your peaceful protests mean fuck all. Nothing. I tell you what, rather than go on a peaceful protest, just stay at home because you've done the exact same amount of fucking difference. You made the exact same difference. Your peaceful protest and staying home does the exact same thing in the end.
Yeah. Bachelor?
They don't. Yeah, it's true. They don't fear you. They don't fear your peaceful protest. Go fuck yourself.
Mostly peaceful conflagration of fires burning up cities.
Yeah, but see, that wasn't their area. That wasn't a politician's area. That was the people who were burning it down's area. That was their home. They burnt down their own fucking shit. Worked out perfect, and they didn't give two fucks. But as soon as the people went to her street, now everybody's got to go home.
Did she phone home, Chris?
She didn't phone home.
Did E.T. phone home with her big finger?
I tell you what, if she phoned home, I'm pretty sure they ain't fucking taking her call.
You know, bro, that's why we like you as emperor. And sorry, Bachelor, but we love you as emperor, bro. And like I say, always guard the words carefully. I think my story's finished, but there's more story, but it would be backstage, and I don't mind letting you guys talk for a bit. If anyone wants to jump in and stream us, I can come back in, but I'll show you a couple of photos if you want, Chris.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm going to end the stream pretty quick here, but you know what? Let's drop the link and let everybody. No, we're not going to do a dog pile, but if anybody wants to come in and say hello, guys, while you've been here, I've had D-Man 50's channel pinned up in the comments. He started live streaming, so if anybody came in late, please go give him a sub, help a brother out, and hopefully he'll be doing a live stream with us pretty quick here. I think he's probably gone to bed, but the StreamYard link is down, guys. Also, if you want to throw in a couple bucks for the MGTOW get-together up here in BC tonight, I have been linking the PayPal somewhere. It's around. Scroll through the comments. It's there. Here. I might be able to drop it again. And all your donations, of course, are highly appreciated. So let me go and check and see just how we've done here tonight, because I like to keep an eye on it once in a while.
Hey, we got Angler here.
Where?
In the chat.
Oh, there he is, Brother Angler. Hello, buddy. Sorry I didn't see you there.
Angler.
Ghost Bill, if you want to pop in and say hello, brother, you're more than welcome to. We're happy to hear your story. I haven't seen you around much, but
probably a new one.
If you want to pop in. Yeah, I was there for the campfire live stream until I had to go do some more shit, of course, obviously, because it never ends for me. But I want to check on D-Man's subscription count and see how we've done so far tonight.
Subscribe, damn it.
Subscribe, you racist bastards.
Hey,
hey, he's up 5.
Hey.
5 more people. Well, most of the guys were already there. But at least we got him 5 more.
Yep.
Ghost Pill.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Living life.
Living life, huh? So,
yeah.
From what I've seen in the chat here, you've kind of been going through the exact same nightmare yourself with the whole family court.
Yeah, well, I went through a divorce about 14 years ago, and
you look very young.
Yeah, dude.
I'm almost 40.
Right.
Good
Well, so
grief,
am I.
you-
But
You held your age
Jesus
well,
Christ.
bro.
Were you married at like 18?
Yeah,
I was married at 23.
Oh,
You're
wow.
married at 11, bro. You look very young.
My oldest kid's 14.
Oh, wow.
That's
My oldest just turned 12 today.
Yeah, I had to go
Congrats.
through
Well, happy
what is
birthday,
it, the
Michael?
Ethan.
Child
Ethan's
Family
now-
Investigator at
Oh.
CFI.
Yeah, and they're a branch of the family court, guardian ad litem, and the fucking CVS. So social
Yes.
workers. Yeah,
And they
they're
treat
like a
you
mini-
like you're the crap on the bottom of their shoe.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
them. That's them.
Yeah.
And a complete waste of time. It was just
Yeah,
a
and then-
job creation to extract more money from you.
Well, of course, and then they drag you through court for 7 years, and you spend over $100,000 in attorney's fees, and you end up nowhere.
Yep, I went in 35,000. I got no closer today than I was day one.
I'm trying to avoid what's behind me because I don't know if it'll get you in trouble on your stream. So
What is it?
It's a clock. Oh, what's that?
Oh, are you kidding? That's your
Good on you,
background,
bro.
bro. Shift back a bit more. It'll be great. Yeah, I support all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you're cool. He's in. He's one of us. He's in.
yeah,
Oh.
I'm one of
Go to
those guys.
casino at home.
Well, brother Ghost, do you want to share any more of the story with us? Like, what was it that they put you through first? Because I mean, I know how my process was with those fuckers.
Well, it was the CFI, and then years and years of court. The lying, the made up stories, the accusing you of horrendous stuff you'd never do to your own kids. And then I repeated the process. I ended up having a kid with another woman,
Oops.
Oh, God.
and that kid's now 8 years old. And fast forward a bunch of years and making some life changes and job changes and moving to a place that's better for me in all regards. There's been some hiccups with child support and all that stuff because of job changes, and then the complete incompetence of the people who handle child support. They're worthless.
Dude,
Worthless.
they're monsters.
Oh, they are.
Monsters.
Here in
Fucking evil
Canada,
cunts.
By any chance, are they female?
yes, most of them are. But here in Canada, we have what's called Family Protection Services, right? Now, this is
Mhm.
what you would call general child support maintenance group. So, yeah, I guess it's your guys' child support branch. Here, they're like their own entity, right? And that organization, when I stated a few streams ago that the family courts were linked to like over 3,000 suicides a year here in Canada.
Yeah, fuck, I remember that.
Holy
Chris.
smokes.
That group is the group. They are the ones that are linked to most of those suicides.
Well, here in the U.S., it's it's all gone through Health and Human Services,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then it goes to the Child Support Agency. And I mean, I've changed job multiple times, and I've given them my address, my employer's information, everything.
Yeah.
And they can't get anything straight.
No.
And then because one of them moved to another state and the other moved to a different state, none of us reside in the state we used to reside in, which was Colorado. They've dropped the ball and everything. They closed my cases, so I couldn't even make payments through Family Support Registry, which is the entity that maintains basically evidence and documentation of all payments made.
Right. Okay. So, from what I've gathered, you're under the Title 4D process, right?
I believe so, yeah, and it's a statute, not a law.
Yeah.
But
so
it's
you've
color of law. They treat it like that, and I've already been receiving letters that are getting ready to. They've revoked my Colorado's driver's license, which I don't have anymore.
right.
But
Okay. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure it'll be the same in Colorado then, either way, because these statutes are literally countrywide. You can go in and opt the fuck out of that because it was an illegal contract.
Yeah, I just need to figure out how to do that, and I've had trouble finding the correct information. You can't find any of it on Google, of course, but
No. You're not going to find this on Google. But you know, Hammerhand, you should reach out. You've heard of Hammerhand, I'm sure, right?
I've been watching Hammerhand and Undead Chronic from their very start.
Okay, so Hammerhand will absolutely show you what you need, and he stated that if you are in the Title 4D thing in the position you are right now, they'll point you out at the exact thing you need to file to get the fuck out of that contract, that illegal contract.
Yeah, I think I need to get Hammerhand's email list or whatever. I need to email him.
Hammer is he knows a lot about that stuff. Yeah, he's very.
And then
precise.
it was Osiris, the 4D destroyer. I've tried watching some of his stuff, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, but Hammerhand seems to be able to make a little more sense out of it.
Yeah.
Hammerhand's mail address is in the chat.
Oh, where is it?
I can't.
Hammerhand at protonmail.com.
Let me write that down.
Yep, go ahead, guys.
Proton Mail is the way to go.
Hey, the worst he'll tell you is, I ain't got time. But if there's any way he can help you, he will absolutely point you right at the spot that he stated it before. We will sign you up for this whatever it is, but essentially it's an opt-out of the contract that illegally you were dragged into if you're under the Title 4D.
Okay, I wrote it down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I am, but I will have to double check on that.
It really does sound like exactly what you are. Exactly what you're under. Now, I'm under that Title 4D as well. So I can opt out of it too, but all I have to do here is not respond because I'm in another country. Now, my ex-wife is actually, like, we got divorced in Wisconsin. So,
and she stayed in the States and you're in Canada.
Yeah, because I'm a Canadian citizen and she's an American citizen, right? Because I couldn't stay there as an immigrant, right? Even though I was going through the process, my ex-wife was my sponsor. So without her, now I'm an illegal immigrant. So I had to leave, right?
Wow.
The worst part is I do believe that if I was a little bit more red-pilled then and was more, if I had found the guys earlier, I actually could have taken her for not only spousal support, but she would have had to either stay as my sponsor for the entirety of the sponsorship, so we wouldn't be able to get divorced after, until this was over and I was sponsored in, or she would have to do what she could to get me ejected out of the country.
Fuck right? Yeah.
But yeah, I basically could have took her for like almost spousal support because I was the immigrant.
Yeah.
I guess Mexicans do that. A lot. Hey man, I'm just going off what I'm told, right? The cute Mexican girls come up and hook up with guys, and then they get them on fucking like a, well, he was my sponsor to America type of thing, and now he's my only lifeline, so he has to pay me like an alimony, right? It's funny. Either way.
Yeah, I need to figure that out because the one I've paid probably in 14 years, I've paid over 75 grand in child support, and the other one's quite a bit too. But because it changes, I'm behind, and
yeah. But
I'm going to be facing some serious problems unless I file the proper paperwork.
Do you get to see your kids?
No.
Jesus.
The one is almost 2,000 miles away.
Damn.
And I have court-ordered parenting time that she's supposed to fly the kid out for me for. But because...
Let me guess, she doesn't.
She did last year.
Oh.
But I had moved. I had left Colorado. I had moved to another state. And then that job didn't work out. And I went back to Colorado, helped some family move, and then moved with them, and I'm where I'm at now. So she's not wanting to comply, and the airplane tickets are ridiculous.
Oh fuck.
And you're not going to fly an 8-year-old kid by themselves. So
No. Well, I mean, there is things you can set up with the stewardess that you can fly them, and have them
I
accompany.
don't trust those pricks for nothing.
Dude, I mean, we barely trust them to fly the fucking plane. So,
Yeah. So that in and of itself is an issue. So that's going to require going back to court over the parenting stuff, because the financial cost for either one of us is untenable at this point.
right. And I mean, like I said, if you can get if your thing is still linked to the Title 4D, and like I said, Hammerhand and them will understand it a hell of a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Smart.
They will point you in a way to where you can get out of the child support costs at least, you know what I mean? To get out of that illegal contract. And I've stated, like, I am a contractor, right? I'm a general contractor for building. I had to follow laws when it comes to contracts. I cannot trick people into signing contracts and then think that they're going to hold up in a court of law.
Oh,
right?
you could lose everything you have and go to prison for that.
Oh yeah, I go to prison. That's exactly what Title 4D does, though. They don't tell you when you're signing your divorce papers or, prior court documents type of thing, that you're actually signing a contract that states you are literally signing up willingly to be a cash cow for them.
And then when you're going through attorneys in court, they almost make it sound like you're going to go to jail if you don't. It's almost like they scare you into signing it.
Well, when you sign up for it, that's what they will use against you, right? But if you don't know what the fuck you're signing, and there's terms in there that are misleading, you have to understand a contract clearly. Like, I have to clearly make sure that you understand every aspect of my contract and what work is to be done and what it's going to cost you, right?
Right.
And if something changes, let's say I can't get the material today because of inflation and it went up 3 times the amount, right? That's something viable. That's something I can say, look, the contract portion for this say section, right, has now tripled in cost because the material price has tripled in cost. If you say, well, no, I refuse to change it, and you have to get the work done because that's what the contract says, I can take that to court and say, look, I can't help inflation. This is what happened on this day. This is why the price went up, and now they're refusing to adjust the contract. The judge will look at it and say, you know what? You're right, Mr. Mitchell. We find in favor of you, because that's a legitimate, out of the blue, out of your control fucking concept that you can throw in. But if I say, well, I'm charging you for a full house, but I'm only going to build you 1 bedroom, and I don't state that in the contract, I have
you're
broken
in violation.
the law. Yeah, I'm in violation of the terms of contracting. It's not my terms. It's literally the terms when it comes to contracting. Contracts have to be clear, fair, and understanding, right? And you have to understand them as a client. If you don't, I fucking fucked up on my part. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt. Which is why they do what they do. What they're doing is illegal.
Yes.
Because they're financially gaining from what they're making you, the contract they're making you sign. Not only are you paying the person who has your child, but there's a portion of money through however it's set up that ends up going to the judge's retirement, from what I understand.
Yes.
So they're violating their oath of office, and it's a conflict of interest. So
here's the thing: when they go in there to the family court meeting, they're not a judge.
They're a magistrate.
They're a magistrate. And I thought it was strange. The first time I had a hearing over the phone with my ex-wife's lawyer, right? And what I thought was a judge, I thought it was strange that he never referred to that judge as Your Honor, because he's not liable to call them Your Honor. That would mean it was a judge. They're not there. They know they're pretending. They know that they are basically doing a smoke show and a lie. And they know the rules and they know that it's a lie, but you don't. They're playing theater and you think you're in a courtroom.
Right. Well, then when they basically threaten legal action and sending their gangsters with badges to come enforce it,
right?
They're basically claiming that you're breaking a law that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So how are you supposed to? I need to get some more information so I can handle this appropriately.
Reach out to Hammerhand, brother. He will.
Okay.
You know what? He is usually more than happy to answer you guys back, and vast book of knowledge when it comes to this shit. Terrence Pop is another one.
I listen to Terrence Pop every time he's on. I love that guy. He's awesome.
If you can, I don't know if anybody has Terrence Pop's email or Blake's email, but if you guys could drop that would be great, because I don't even have Blake's email. I'm not important enough.
Redonkulous20-something at gmail.com. I just forget the last 20-something. Redonkulous20. I fucking hell.
Oh, fuck. Go watch his videos. He says it. He says it enough. But, you know, those guys are willing to help you out too, man. And, like, that little bit of information, you know, like, understanding that when you thought you were going into a courtroom, that you were actually going into a fucking play. This was just like going in to fucking watch, like, Cinderella or some shit on the fucking stage, only you don't know you're at a play. That was fucking infuriating. And the
sorry, Redonkulous. So Redonkulous.
Redonkulous12 at gmail.com.
Thanks, Riggs.
Yeah, Riggs is everywhere. He's got literally everybody's email, and there's Blake.
That's not the Riggs Pops talks about, is it?
Yes,
no, that's not. No. But speaking of Riggs, no, that is the Riggs.
That's Riggs Jr.
Now, Riggs Jr. there, he has a fetish for an anus. I'm just saying, and I love him. I love him. No, I don't. I didn't like what he did to me the other night. It hurt when he went up, and I actually bled after that. But I'm just saying, sorry. Carry on, mate.
Your bumhole?
A little bit.
Did he stretch your bum?
He ripped me 3 of them right up my ankle. I've got to do it. Come on, Bachelor. Okay, sorry, Chris. Sorry,
guys.
I got to get it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things.
Sorry.
Take it easy, brother Dave. Butthole Nation, buddy. Yeah, you're here now. Yeah. But yeah, man, reach out to those guys. Ask them for some advice on how to get out of the Title 4D fucking fake contract, or essentially, you know, the lie contract that you've been fucking sucked into. And one of those guys will help you out. I understand that Osiris has a lot of videos up. I do find a lot of his audio is very hard to understand, right?
Yeah, that's the issue I've had, because I've looked at that, and then you go online and try to find this stuff. Good luck.
Yeah, no, it's not online. It's a lie hidden in a fucking secret. Okay, it's they don't want this exposed to sunlight. If people knew what they were getting into,
these people would not be breathing.
Yeah, if you want to set up a fucking protest, like a peaceful protest that will actually have an effect, go stand outside your fucking family courtroom or the fucking Canadian, because Canadian offices, they're everywhere, right? The family resource allegation fucking office. There's one in Vancouver. Go stand outside of there with a sign saying these people lead to 3,000 deaths a year, and you will fucking have an effect, because then people know who they are. Most people don't know who the fuck they are. Don't have a clue. Even when they're paying child support, they have no idea who the fuck these people are. They're they're essentially a army of bureaucrats, right? Pencil pushers.
Well,
that are
they're nothing more than white collar criminals, is what they are.
that there you go, white collar criminal that essentially is still a mob, right? But they work as a representative of the government. Hush, hush.
Well, yeah,
Chris,
they're all lawyers. They make the laws, and then they implement the laws how they want, that line their pockets and subjugate the rest of us.
But that's just it. Nothing they do is legal. So
Well, of course it isn't.
If you had a mob boss come to you and say, you know, you have to pay us this amount because fucking, you know, we say so, it'd be no different. None whatsoever. What they do is exactly the same. They just fucking wrap it in a nice little title, you know, sort of like how the family courts say we do things in the best interest of the children, except
They don't care about the children.
Oh, fuck no.
No,
They
don't.
care about their money. It's all about money. So, like I said, you actually want to make a fucking difference to shine light on some group. Those are the ones you can go stand outside the office of. And as soon as the cameras show up, they start sweating. They start sweating big time.
Well, how much you want to bet, though, that they would ensure that media didn't show up to cover something like that, because that's an issue they don't want to have.
Well, even Rebel Media hasn't touched it, really. I think they've done it once. Rebel News here in Canada, which is essentially like the People's News now, right?
Israel Levant and Kevin McGuinness and Israel Levant.
Yeah. What about Project Veritas? What about Alex Jones? Why won't they?
I think Project Veritas has gone into the family court system once as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
James O'Keefe has?
I don't know if it was James himself. I think it was another one of his reporters or something. But I think they've touched on it once. And the last guy that was doing a big thing on the family court system and the battered women's shelter was he has evidence to imply that everyone from the judge to the sheriff to the fucking family court board were all involved in a fucking scam at these fucking battered women's shelters and family courts. And he was arrested and was looking at 25 years in jail.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, no, they got spooked big time. Big time. Oh, I can't remember what the fuck that guy's name was. But yeah,
you should come to Denmark, that's for sure.
Well, you come to New Zealand,
100% of what you pay initially goes to the kid.
What? 100%.
No.
Well, how can they even prove that? Because you make these payments and there's nothing in place to ensure that the money they receive is actually being used on the kid. I know for a fact.
Directly here to the ex-wife. Directly.
But it still goes to the ex-wife.
Well, what I'm saying is, I know for a fact that my youngest daughter's mother, my child support went on a card, like a Visa type card that she got from the state. She was given to her ex-husband, who was using it to buy cigarettes and alcohol and marijuana products.
Yeah.
Can you prove
essentially.
I don't have physical proof, but I know for a fact that he was doing it.
They wanted to put child support on a card everywhere. Now, you're saying that they've actually done it somewhere.
That's how they're doing it in Colorado.
Yeah, okay, so that made it to The View. You know that show, The View, with the bitchy women that just get on.
Yeah, those retarded can't understand normal thinking.
That actually made it on there, where a woman was like, if I want to buy myself a glass of wine or fucking nail treatment with my kid's child support, I should be able to do that.
It wouldn't fly here.
That shouldn't fly anywhere. And you know what? It doesn't fucking matter. When it comes to how much child support men pay, you can take care of a fucking army of kids.
Yep.
And
they act like they're not getting enough, but what you're paying is more than enough to supply what they need. And so it's just we don't have to go into it because it's just a rabbit hole you can chase down and down and down.
Yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have no problem with the idea of supporting kids. Both parents should be supporting their kids. However, both parents need to be involved with their fucking kids too. not paying one parent to extort and then withhold children from the other one.
Well,
That
the,
is
the
fucking
courts
criminal.
Yeah.
and the courts are
yeah.
complicit in it too, because they'll say,
course,
"Oh,
they
hey,
get-
we're taking your we take your
Hey.
parenting time away. You don't get to see your kid. Too bad."
No, here's the thing. They get paid more when she collects more child support. So for every
that's the
dollar
thing.
they collect, they can get anywhere between 72 cents to 250, depending on who you ask. So when you're paying maximum child support, which means you have no custody or physical placement of your child, she has it all. You now pay maximum child support, right?
Right.
For every dollar they collect, they get paid. So why the fuck
Well-
would they? It's just like social services. They don't care about your kids or the family unit or anything like that. They want numbers on the book, because the more numbers they get on the book, the more federal funding they can ask for next quarter. That's exactly. This is where the corruption pyramid starts. When
And then
you
the rest of the
tell a-
money,
Sorry, go ahead.
and then the money that they're receiving is coming from the taxpayers because it's government subsidies to
Out
them
of-
for what
Exactly.
yeah.
It's out of your guys's.
So you're paying for it
Security.
twice.
Well, you're not only paying for it, but your grandparents are paying for it.
Well, and your neighbor is, and the person you don't know thousands of miles away is.
That's the pyramid, man, built with that welfare state from top down. Starts with
Just like the
starts with
just like the
social-
government. Sorry.
Go ahead. You go first.
No.
How dare
No,
you,
no.
guys? How dare you? No, go
Just like how all of the Planned Parenthoods
Mm.
are rent free. Their buildings are rent free. They don't pay a dime for those buildings because those buildings are subsidized by the federal government.
Aye. Not only that, but so are they.
Yeah.
So the whole pyramid of all it is every city, right up to every state, wants more of the federal funding at the next quarter, right? So when they get, I guess you guys get federal funding every 6 months, right? Or is it every year?
I'm not
What-
sure.
When does federal go to state? Like when do they do up their state funding essentially, like for every state? Is it every year? We'll say every
I'm
year.
not sure. I don't know the answer to that.
So let's say every year they want to ask for more money so that they can pay themselves more and that they can keep their jobs going, keep their fucking organization going. It's essentially like job security. To get this job security, they need to get more people on social services, right?
Yep. Welfare.
The easiest people to get on welfare is single mothers, right?
Yep.
No problem. Okay, so we'll throw in a side batch so that for every single mother that you collect child support for, and we'll let you build this whole new fucking organization, right? As a branch of your branches of the government, like your state government. We'll let you guys collect, child support money, and for every dollar you collect, we'll give you 75 cents. Well, the more money that they get to collect, the more they make.
Right.
Bonus, no problem. We'll get maximum fucking women on child support. We'll get the maximum amount of women and children in welfare states, right? Or in a welfare situation and on the books. We'll get the maximum amount of fucking courtroom time that we can get, but it's not a courtroom. It's just a fucking public hearing kind of thing. And we'll fucking get them signed up to this illegal contract by by not telling them they're actually signing a contract. And we'll call it Title 4D.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but them handling it that way is no different than they handle prosecuting people too.
None
The higher
whatsoever.
prosecution rates they get, the more money they get.
And how many prosecutors, state prosecutors, right, or city prosecutors, whatever you call them, have been busted withholding information that would lead to a person's innocence just to get a conviction?
Enough times to make you sick.
Yeah, that's been happening for fucking decades.
I watched it happen to a very good friend of mine.
Yeah, they can hold on to evidence that would clear your name, but because they're meant to fucking put you in jail, and getting you in jail is a win for them, more money for them, they withhold it, and they are never held accountable. Not once.
Same with the public defenders.
Yeah. Public defenders don't usually give a fuck. Not that there aren't some good public defenders out there, and whatever religion they believe in, whatever God is listening, may they watch over them forever. But most public defenders are only there to get so many cases done, right? So that they can move up to either being a full-on state prosecutor or a judge, or fucking until they can get into a firm, right?
Right.
That's it. So win, lose, or draw, they don't give two fucks. And it's never held to their record. Once a lawyer becomes a judge, he never wants to go back to being a lawyer. So he's going to play ball with as many people to keep him in power as possible, right? And that's why all the judges, despite being elected officials, right, because they are voted in, will go into this fucking play, put on a fucking mask, pretend to be something they're not, while helping somebody else lie to you to extort money out of you and use your children against you. That is it. That is the welfare state in a nutshell.
It's funny that men hadn't snapped already, and taking some of them out of misery.
Terrence Pops has said it dozens of times.
It's called restraint.
Yeah,
it's called restraint.
He is shocked that there isn't a rifle sitting across from every one of those fucking courtrooms on a daily basis. He stated it dozens of times. And you know what? We all are. But I believe it was Brandon who said, or one of the guys likes to say that the only reason people are allowed to do this, and women especially are allowed to get away with this shit, is because of men's restraint.
Yeah.
Simps, Chris. Simps.
Yeah. Well, we're all simps. I mean, I haven't went and shot any of the local judges or lawyers either.
No, that's right.
Doesn't mean.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, that's
how much.
This is all hypothetical now. Sorry. Carry on.
No worries. How much of it's because you still want to have some semblance of a reasonable life? You still want to, have something in life. You don't want to just burn everything to the ground.
Well, I'm looking to become emperor, and
I know.
Just
they're the
waiting,
first
waiting in the wings, Chris. Waiting in the wings.
Yeah. When I pick my targets, I'm going to make sure that every one of those fucking rounds count. I don't need to slaughter, thousands of civilians. Yeah.
No, of course.
No, we got lots of actual fucking deserving targets, and that is the one way you're going to get a fucking point across.
That's right. And this
I agree. I mean, whoever voted themselves out of communism?
Nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
And
we've tried the ballot box. The ballot box doesn't work anymore. There's only one more box to check. Nobody wants to talk about that, but that's the reality of the situation that the world is coming to.
Yeah.
Well, this is true. This is all true. Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, most of these fucking peaceful protests, they don't harm anyone except for the people that are involved in it and the citizen next to them.
Yeah.
They
look what BLM did.
Yeah, dude.
Burn, loot, murder. I mean,
do you think Justin Trudeau gave two fucks about fucking 10,000 people fucking surrounding Ottawa?
Nope.
No. What did he do? He fucked off to Tofino and go surfing. That's how much he gave to. Yeah, they don't give two fucks about your words. Your words don't mean jack shit.
Your actions do.
Yeah, goddamn right. And when fucking lead starts flying in their direction, and they have to duck to walk outside their fucking house or outside of their office, trust me, they will start thinking very differently.
What did the president of Sri Lanka do? He hopped on a naval vessel and fled.
Yeah.
He left.
He ran.
Fled. Yeah.
Yeah. And now what? They're going to send the army in? Okay, go ahead. There isn't an army in this fucking universe right now that I know of that can take on the citizens and win, even if the
No.
citizens are completely unarmed. Not one. I can make a fucking knife out of anything. Anything. I can fucking freeze my piss and make a knife out of it and shank some motherfucker. And you know
A
what?
rock works pretty good too.
Rock works great too, but there's 10,000 of us for every one of them. Even if 100% of our fucking country's armies were like, yep, we'll gun down all the citizens if we have to, right? Just to keep this bitch under control, they still are going to lose because they
Well, how many
cannot
people
keep it up.
have? How many people have the stones to actually stand up and grow a spine?
Well, Hammerhand asked me the other night if are you willing to die for your beliefs?
I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember
There you
that,
go.
Chris. Yeah.
You goddamn right I am.
Well,
You goddamn right. You know what? If the citizens today stood up and fought for their actual goddamn freedoms that they were born with, not what the government allows you to keep, because as I've stated, governments don't grant you fucking anything when it comes to freedom or rights.
They take it.
restrict them and they take them. That's
Yeah.
it. They don't have the ability. My son was born with every right that he could fucking have. All that stops him from acting on them or using them is government officials
Or the
That's
fear
it.
of.
or the fear of.
Chris,
Hey,
Chris, on that stream,
10,000 to
Well,
1, man. That's
yeah.
not good
Well,
odds.
on that stream, Chris, the talk went to also who's going to be the first. You know, that's the thing.
Well, it'll obviously
um,
be me.
Well,
As your
no, I mean
emperor.
hypothetically,
As your emperor,
hypothetically,
I have to go first.
no. The emperor is served by other people, right?
I
so
serve the
hypothetically,
people.
look. By the way, I don't know if you guys know about. There's a guy. He lived many years ago. Maybe I don't know the '60s, somewhat, maybe '63. John F. Kennedy, and they got a patsy in there. But you really think, okay? So that's and of course we've spoken about things like that. I'm just saying, that always struck me as odd. That Lee
Kennedy
Harvey Oswald
assassination?
did that. Yeah. What was
Well, that
his
was
name?
another 9/11.
Well, once again, you're bringing up the same old thing. Well, you think, here's the thing. I heard someone the other night, all the buildings burnt down, right? Which there's impossible to burn them down unless you've got something, carried a wrecking ball up there. Once again, they're going to get to conspiratorial. Unless there's a big ball going up there, up to the top of the thing to collapse it down, because that was built like a beehive. You can't kill a bee. If I put my cigarette out on a beehive, look, we're getting off topic, but let's just say I put my cigarette out on a beehive and let it burn there. It's not going to collapse the whole beehive because that's the way the structure. Sorry about that, but let's just say, look, Abe was unfortunately taken out about a few weeks back, right? The Japanese prime minister.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they had him assassinated. That's for sure.
They did, yeah. Whoever they are. What if another one happens? Another
It's going
big
to.
one.
Yeah.
It will.
Okay. And
They're not done
about
playing
the
their
other?
game yet.
That's right. But now they found the assassination, the person who did that to Abe.
Yeah.
But they never found what happened to JFK's haircut, because it certainly wasn't the patsy that they had. Certainly not. There's a lot of stories around, but let's just say it was a man from France. This has been mooted. I don't know. I don't care. Doesn't belong to me. And look, time is too short. But let's say another one goes. Let's say Trudeau. I don't know. Once again, I got to be
No,
careful.
he's swinging from that one dude way too much.
Who? Blair?
Castro.
The Dr. Evil looking dude.
Oh, fucking Klaus Schwab.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
dangling from him way too much. He's not going
They
to burn
all are.
his little toy right there.
They all are.
Yeah.
But see, when shit goes down here, right? And in other countries where the people fucking take a stand in any way, like we've seen how Justin Trudeau was willing to go out and take a knee with BLM, no problem, or Antifa. But when the people rose up against the government, right, to actually take a stand for freedom, he ran off. He had no fucking interest in fucking talking with those people at all, because he's not a
they
leader.
were racist and misogynistic and terrorist and
The fringe minority. We were the fringe minority. Right?
yeah.
You will eat the bugs.
Yeah. but
You can eat them
He-
themselves.
he
Yeah.
has no interest in actually being a leader. None of them do.
None of them do.
They
No,
want to
no,
be
skiing.
dictators.
What's the fucking ski? He's
Well,
a bastard.
And here's the thing.
And what's more, his eyebrows. Something wrong with his eyebrows. Fuck him.
Oh, I love his new haircut. It suits his dumb dumber fucking character completely.
But here's a question. When the people who are looking to take control over the world as we know it,
Mhm.
when they're in a position to assume the power and control they want, all these useful idiots like Trudeau and
Macron.
you know Macron, that guy who's he's nothing but a sock puppet, and
horse
and-
face. Adjourn.
Yeah, your guys'
And-
prime minister there. She's a fucking
Oh,
another one.
yeah. Don't like her at all.
yeah, and Barry and his husband Big Mike, and
Oh, no, Barry and Mike.
Yeah. One fast act, we do remember that big burn pit Hammer was talking about. We need some of those.
Yeah,
we
so-
gotta have them roast.
when these people assume the power and control they want, all these useful idiots, do you think they're going to allow them to even have a voice or to maintain some presence? No,
they're the
they're
first
going to
to
be done
First to
away with, just like what the Nazis did to the Jews.
Dude,
They're
well,
they're
not
they're
only
fodder.
that, the fucking the brown shirts. Look at what they did
Yeah.
to the brown shirts.
The
The brown shirts were used to silence, murder, and imprison their political rivals. And as soon as they were done with them, they had them all fucking killed. Because
Exactly. History
now
repeats
useless.
itself.
yeah, and that's how it's always been.
Hmm.
Always.
Let's just hope we don't repeat this history in the West. And look,
You
if
don't.
we go down swinging, brothers. Hey, that's the way it
Well,
is.
See, and when TFM, or sorry, it was TFM and Undead Chronic, they both mentioned the same thing. If they were to pick their ideal leadership, they would pick an emperor. Because an emperor does not get involved with the people's day-to-day life too fucking often. The emperorship is there to protect the rights of the people, and he can be fucking taken out pretty goddamn quick and easily if he fucks up. Right? You fuck up by the numbers and Rome falls. That's what happened when Rome fell. If they fucked up by the numbers, they had a couple of fucking psychopaths running the place, right? And a couple of narcissists, and it fucking fell. That
Well,
was the
Chris-
power of the people right there.
But Chris, remember, there is another emperor, and they did nothing to him. And he lived on an island, Alba, I think it was called Alba, and with an old tortoise. There's a tortoise. There was a turtle, whatever, tortoise. It was the same age, only in the 70s, I think. That was the same age as the man, who was shorter than most people, but I'm not short.
He was
I'm
the
not sure
fucking
if it's
average height for the time.
Yeah. But they did not destroy him. And, he
No.
loved his Josephine. Josephine was his missus, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. So I mean, Napoleon was at least he was an emperor for his people.
He was.
Yes.
He was.
I mean, just because his people were lied to by the new politicians, right,
Mhm.
and convinced to overthrow him, well, that wasn't his fault. He still did everything he could for his country. Mind
Well, look
you,
at the feats he accomplished.
dude. Yeah, and I mean, yes, he ran into some bad luck at the end there. He really did. Don't
Well,
fuck.
don't most people.
Yeah, don't march into Russia but on foot, guys. Never march into Russia on foot. Never.
Well, when you're facing nothing but bogs and sub-zero temperatures,
yeah,
I mean,
you're gonna
how
yeah.
far are you going to make it?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hannibal took those elephants over the cold mountains and stuff.
Yeah, most of them died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of them died, but a lot of them still made it. Enough made it. But at the same time, it wasn't just the elephants. It was the fact that he literally took the impossible to pass and snuck up behind them and fucked them in their ass. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's poetic.
Oh, speaking
That's
now,
poetic.
Chris,
Somebody write
Chris,
that down.
no, Chris, speaking of fucking them in the ass, is Riggs still in the chat? I'm just kidding. Riggs knows I love him, but it is what it is.
Hey, I've had a few
Um,
adventurous females. Okay, I'm just saying.
It's
Okay,
funny.
Ghost.
I don't know where we were, but somebody mentioned coconut oil, and I think it might have been Brandon or Ape, one of them mentioned coconut oil the other night, and I laughed my ass off because it was
Oh,
only like
yeah.
2 days prior I was doing it.
Oh, no. Enough said.
Enough said. No, I
Enough
was
said,
like,
Chris.
holy fuck.
Well,
What do you guys? What is your guys' thought on with what they're doing to the food and economic structures, the issues that we're seeing take place?
Well, that's all part of the plan, brother. That's all part of the plan.
Well, you make people hungry, they'll do anything.
Yeah, and the idea that they're putting into and the money that they're sinking into bug farming, that's
You know how many
luck
diseases and
with that.
parasites bugs have?
well, that's just it. I mean, they're doing it, and they're getting their fucking cronies like the Good Morning America and shit to fucking promote it, right?
Sorry.
I mean,
Good luck with
Trudeau,
that one.
Tru-
I'm
Trudeau
out of there.
Yeah, Trudeau pumped $8.7 million into one fucking plant just recently, and his goal is $13 billion when it's over. Why the fuck do we want to eat bugs while you eat fucking steak?
Yeah.
Because they aren't gonna fucking eat them unless it's a show. All
Yeah.
right, dude, stop fucking believing anything they say. I mean, Biden came out yesterday, I think it was, or today, and said that we weren't in a fucking recession. Or sorry, that was the other day. Today or yesterday, I was seeing people on Facebook and Instagram and fucking TikTok repeating that same fucking lie.
Well, because they base everything they think and believe and know off of what they're told. They don't have the capability of thinking for themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, normies.
NPCs, non-playable characters. Okay.
Non-playable characters.
That's what they. It doesn't matter. I grow. I'm
That's a
trying to
ghost
grow.
profile.
I'm trying to grow as much of my own produce right now as I can, and I plan on expanding on it for as many years as I can right now. I'm trying to pick 2 alternative locations, literally out in the fucking wild, to essentially do the exact same thing. Make like a little fucking farm plot out in the middle of fucking nowhere, just in case, right? And there's no fucking way on this goddamn earth I'm gonna eat fucking bugs or try to feed it to my kid, especially when I'm surrounded by wildlife and I am fucking heavily armed, allegedly.
Yeah.
Well,
Allegedly.
yeah. Well,
Hey, the boating accident.
Oh yeah,
Remember
the
that?
boating accident.
Oh, well,
I mean,
of course. Actually,
hey,
boating.
Bill, did I tell you about the boating accident I had where I lost all my guns? It was terrible. Terrible.
yeah.
That's so-
I'm surrounded by forest where I'm at.
Great.
I don't eat squirrels when there's rabbits running around.
I have not seen a single rabbit. And the only thing I haven't even seen squirrels. I've seen ground squirrels, and I don't think you're getting anything off of those.
No. Mountain lions will eat me? Yeah, most likely. We got those. By the way, Dak, when you come to visit,
Dick.
you're going to want to watch out for those fuckers. Just an FYI. Yeah,
You guys have
Run, Forrest, run!
you're grizzly country up there, aren't you, Chris?
No, grizzly country's more to the east and north. So we do have a few here, but mostly if you're going to see bears here, they're going to be black bears. However, I have seen black bears here reach up 9 feet and pull themselves up fucking rocks. So they are all tiny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my
I'm
gosh.
not far north from where I'm at is probably a prime grizzly country.
Yeah.
The Yellowstone area.
Yeah, Yellowstone.
But back when I was in Colorado, there's a few places we went to vacation. I've seen black bears who, standing on all fours, their backs were higher than an F-150.
Yeah,
Big.
yeah, they can get pretty big.
And it's like, that's a black bear.
Yeah,
That thing is probably 800 pounds.
yeah. The one that we saw in the yard one day, when he stood up, he was over the pickup, right? Obviously, because he went up to a rock face where like the blasting had ended for the cutout for the property, right?
Uh-huh.
And when I stood next to it, it was so high up that I couldn't even jump and touch the top. So we're over 9 feet, right?
Mhm.
He got spooked when he came through the parking lot, went over to that rock face, reached up with his fucking one paw and pulled himself up to the top.
Good God.
That's a big fucking black bear. He was 900 to 1,000 pounds, a monster.
Yeah,
most-
and
He's not like them all. They're all around, a couple hundred pounds, but there are some monsters out there, guys.
well, and then what happens when a black bear loses its fear of man?
Well,
They're
he'll eat your
worse
ass.
than a grizzly at that point.
Yeah, he'll eat your ass.
Get pumped full of lead. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if we go river rafting, we won't be taking guns with us, but I recommend everybody packs a knife, at least a knife.
Well, you can't go wrong with a 12 gauge.
Yeah, I know, but we're going river rafting, and if I have to paddle with my 12 gauge, that's not going to be good.
Chris, what about
That's a new
pole
skill.
cue? How about a pole
What's-
cue? A pole
Bull
cue.
cue? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Pull.
You can use a
Never know.
spear, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, like
I don't want to
said,
get that close.
Yeah, well, man, like fuck, them be the breaks. Like, look, the chances of seeing one is 50-50. We'll go 50-50. So if we go on the 3 river trips that I plan, there's a good chance we're going to see one, without a doubt. But now, most likely, it will stay away from us, or we'll spook it, right? And everybody will be fine. There's a chance that we won't. You know what I mean?
That's where the adventure comes in.
That's right. That's all part of the adventure. But hey, we got moose up here, man, that are fucking, 700 pounds. You don't
We
want to
do
fuck
too.
with them.
You have to be careful fly fishing the rivers down here.
Yeah, moose kill more people every year than sharks. Most people
Oh,
don't
yeah.
fucking know that. It is literally the biggest man killer on the fucking planet.
Actually, bear spray works fantastic for moose too.
Yeah, I find bullets work better.
Well, that's my thought. 10 millimeters, great.
Yeah, I mean,
By the way, One Fast Dak is asking Ghost where he is from. But you can
Colorado?
you can show him your little sign in the back. The F.
Oh, yeah. Hey, one fast stack. There you go.
That should be your picture for your fucking avatar right there.
I might get pulled off. My YouTube account might get completely pulled just for that being up there.
No, maybe. Fuck
Well,
'em.
you'll
Well,
have
it's
one
the
5
items
minutes,
that are with it. You know.
Oh, the guns. Oh God.
You
That's
will
the only
always
reason
get
you're
one
allowed
on
here.
Odyssey.
Well, yeah. I was originally from Colorado, but I'm currently in Wyoming.
Yeah. Hey man, I've run after the motherfuckers and I've scared them off, but they were stupid bears.
Well, normally
Is it-
black bears, if you treat them the way you would a lion, make yourself big and loud, and normally they'll run.
I don't know how your mountain lions work, but our mountain lions wait till we're turned to them, and then they jump on our backs and try to break our necks. So,
Chris, I heard that Riggs jumps on some bears' backs and breaks them. But it's like a buck, it's like buck breaking though.
it's
That's
like
what I
that.
Is that
heard.
kind of like Pop the Hog Slayer?
Yeah, yeah, he's a bear fucker. He's like that scene in a
Second
fucking
hand,
Super Troopers. Bear fucker. Bear fucker. Do you need aid?
That's what I heard. Secondhand information, but
We have completely gone off the rails. Anyway, gents.
That's all relevant.
Yeah, I know it's all relevant, brother. Like I said, I recommend you reach out to the guys.
I
to
will. I
find
got
some-
those. I got those emails. So tomorrow I'll put some thoughts together and try to send as coherent of an email as I possibly can.
Well,
Hammerhand is a good man. He's a good, very good man. One of the top. Morally, like we're all pretty good people here. So he'll be there, mate. Just give him an
Yeah.
email, mate. Yeah.
There are thoughts behind what he say.
most men are good. I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
what anyone says.
Most men are good, brother. Yeah.
Most men are good.
Well, most of us are rational.
That too. I can deal rational. I can fucking reason with rational. I can't reason with the insane. Can't.
No.
Well, if you don't have a dirty hatchet wound, you don't have a whole lot to worry about.
How do I reason with somebody with a hatchet wound? What? There's a reason why I talk to guys on here about things that I don't talk to my youngest son's mother about. I don't
Yeah.
talk to my own mother about. I don't talk to
Mhm.
any of my sisters about. Why?
Mhm.
Because they can never understand it. And they know that. So
Yeah.
what's the fucking point of me wasting my breath?
Yes.
There isn't.
Yeah, we both know they don't understand. They can't. It's just like, how do you convince? Okay, how does a woman raise a young man? It's fucking literally impossible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Literally impossible. I'm not saying you can't keep him alive. I'm saying you cannot raise him not to be a useful,
It's
decent
soft.
young man himself. You don't know what
I've
it
never
is.
seen anything positive come from it.
Me neither. Me neither.
I'm very,
homie.
very proud of people like Chris, Angler, Hammer, many others in here who have, and many others are missing people out, and yourself as well, Ghost, and you've done everything you know, you're doing things that you can. Very proud of people who do the best that they can, and you've got my full support. I mean, you know, fucking it is what it is, eh? But you just excellent fathers. Don't let any other motherfucker, I'm swearing, don't let anyone else tell you anything different. We live in a world of shit. Everything's rallied against us. All their forces are rallied against us. I admire you guys very much. That's why one of the reasons I hang in these circles, because I remember this movie I watched once. Had my I have to tell Chris something in the private too. But it was played by Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins, and it said, "We read." One of the quotes of the movies was, it said, "We read to know that we are not alone," and a lot of us are not alone. And I have a lot of admiration for many people in here, more than I can even fucking think of at the moment. So that's all I'm saying. Oh shit!
Yeah,
What Manly is saying there, I mean, especially that trauma part. When we fucking show trauma, you know it's fucking serious.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know it. This person is now pushing the fuck it line because that's the only line he sees. We don't.
Yeah, and what happens when you hit that? Fuck it.
Well,
You know?
when we fucking give in to our natural animal instincts, look the fuck out. You have Jay Block. Today's your day, motherfucker. Today's your day.
What happens when you corner a badger or a wolverine?
Yeah. Yeah. Same
When-
fucking
when-
thing that
when-
happens when you corner a bear. It ain't good.
When you make an
in a-
animal
Yeah.
think that it has no options and it has nothing left to lose, I don't care what kind of animal it is. It's dangerous.
And when they get together, it's even more dangerous. One alone is one thing. Get a pack of them, you got a fucking problem.
I tell you what, though,
If
there
I
is
were to
a
take 5 men today, 5 other men, right, today, and say, boys, we're going fucking hunting for justice, holy fuck. Like, holy fuck, the devastation we would lay down. It would be fucking unholy. It'd be right up there with fucking 9/11. By the time we're done, you wouldn't have one group of people that were just, randomly killed or anything like that. This would be an ongoing event. It'd be like fucking dealing with the, the IRA, right? When they fucking planted roadside bombs, and just if you look into all the fucked up shit they did it out of desperation.
Guerrilla warfare.
Yeah, guerrilla warfare. That's what you would have, and 6 people could do it. 6 people
Easy.
could literally change the fucking tone right now.
But you have heard of the most dangerous predator. This is on a serious note now. You know what's coming.
Okay.
On a serious note, there is something more dangerous than a black bear. Certainly the black bear, or the Kodiak. I think they're peaceful, but this is the most dangerous thing in the world. Is Riggs Jr.
Yeah. And it's moose cock. That's the natural gas.
Hey, I gotta respond. Hey, what one fast stack. I have a response to one fast stack. 99% of Wyoming does not consider Jackson Hole part of Wyoming. Okay, that's a bunch of liberal shitbags. We hate them.
So have you ever thought about just, eliminating them all?
Allegedly.
The problem is getting people to go along with you.
Well, that's just it. It's like I've stated about how people will fucking follow laws, right? Because they know that this act is illegal, and even though there's no chance of them getting caught, and if they did get caught, it would be like, don't do it again because that's illegal. See you later. They still follow the routine. They still think about it twice, right?
Well, like as long as they have their social media and their ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, they'll follow whatever the fuck they're told. We literally now police ourselves because we were indoctrinated into believing that it's somehow okay for a government body who has nothing to do with your day-to-day life, right, can tell you can't take a fish from a river or from the ocean to feed yourself.
Without a permit. Yeah.
Or without a permit. Here's the way I see it. If I can't take a fish out without a fucking permit or a license, I'm killing every fucking fish that's there.
Yeah.
So there is nothing to worry about tomorrow because they're all dead. There you go. Scorched earth. You want to fucking play hardball? Let's play hardball. You say I can't do something I want to do because it's illegal and wrong to touch this natural resource because you're the government. I'll fucking destroy your natural resource completely because I'm a citizen of this fucking land. This is mine.
And the reason behind that is to prevent you from being self-sufficient, so you have to suck at their teeth so they maintain power over you.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. You suck at their fucking teeth. And what, Hemi, are we signing you up for the army? Awesome. See, we got fucking 2 guys already. Who's with me? I only need 4 more, man. 4 more motherfuckers. Bad motherfuckers.
Hey, Chris. We talked once before on One Fast Stacks channel, and I already told you I was on board.
Oh, perfect. I need 3 more badass motherfuckers. We're gonna take fucking everything, man. We're turning this fucking world upside down. And we'll start with Canada. I don't give a fuck. You know what? The way I see it, there's no reason why the people shouldn't have control of this country or the U.S. or any other country, other than the fact that we have gotten lazy, we have gotten compliant, and we have been fucking conditioned to be weak and defenseless.
Chris, the large, think of it. Vast amount of people, like the vast amount of people, regardless of what their philosophies on certain things in life, are good people. They're good people. You can be an atheist, whatever. But there is a small group. I mean, talking like say 8 out of 8 billion, and they go to all those positions and they want to get there, and they wish they haven't some sort of strange. This is the thing. This is part of the cluster B. And Angler's gone, I think, but they have this real strong desire to impose their will, something that I don't think anyone in here has. to impose their will upon other people. Who the fuck wants to impose their will upon other people? Yeah, I don't wake up in the morning thinking, and it's like the racism thing as well. Oh, we wait, they wake up in the morning thinking they want to. Oh, how can I hurt a black person? All that shit. This has nothing to do with that. We don't wake up in the morning thinking, how can we impose? These motherfuckers do, Chris. I'm sorry to swear, but
No, they do.
They want to impose their will on good people,
Yeah.
and
Well, I mean,
piss me
I'm sure a lot of us have seen that clip from Tate. What's his name again?
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
I
where he
can't
stated-
stand that guy.
Hey, you know what? I'm not into the PUA thing. Love him, hate him. I don't care. He dropped
But
a couple
Chris,
of fucking great red pills.
Did
His
a good
brother
one
got
last-
charged with sex trafficking.
I don't care. But I'm just saying, the words he said on the Fresh and Fit podcast, which I also don't fucking support, right? To those young women stating that, it's not that all men have all the money and all the power. He was like, you're confusing that with the 1% of men that have all the money and all the power. The rest of men don't have fuck all, right? There was no truer words ever fucking spoken.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
And until every fucking man on this planet, or at least in our countries to start, are living as free men, right? Not evil men, free men.
Yeah.
There is no fucking hope for us. None. We are always going to be under their fucking heel. Every fucking day of our lives, we are going to wake up and live our life based on their rules, while they don't follow their own fucking rules.
Nope.
That's right.
Well,
That's right.
Well, they do it all by threat of a gun, because they're going to send their gangsters with badges to force you to comply.
Exactly.
I agree with Chronic when he talks about that and not willing to fight for this nation in regards of is it as it is and maintaining this status quo. I completely agree. And I know cops that are good people, but one good apple doesn't make up for a bunch of bad apples.
Not only that, we've had one of those good apples on this fucking live streams before.
Eric
Eric
to you
Sombro
soon,
is a former police officer.
Coming
He
to you
was
soon.
told, because his livelihood was tied to it, his mortgage was tied to it, right? And his family unit was tied to his paycheck. He did what he was told.
Exactly.
And what he was told was
subjugate your fellow man.
Go forth and harass the public, because that's where they fucking make their money. They aren't here to protect and serve the people. They are here to subjugate the people for their masters, and their masters are the politicians.
So we got an emperor.
Exactly.
Yeah, you already live in a dictatorship and have for fucking decades and didn't know it.
Slavery didn't end. Slavery changed.
Slavery
changed to encompass all of mankind instead of just one skin color.
Amen. Yep. And it's now a group of elitists that rule over us all.
No, they're slaves too. They're slaves to their corruption and their desires and their evil.
Yeah, they're all in it together, and they will absolutely cut the throat of one another if they don't follow suit.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? And
There's no honor amongst thieves.
No, and they got a couple of diversity hires, right? Like fucking AOC.
Or Pierre. Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally there simply because
Optics.
they are women and race of a different race. But they are still willing to follow suit. No matter how much they talk about fucking slavery and oppression and mistreatment of races, they are there to oppress us all. They are fucking following along with the same game because they somehow think they're special.
That is the very definition of a threat, Chris. I didn't say anything there. I just said I stated a fact. I didn't make any threats. I just said that's the very definition of a threat.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I'm looking to end the stream, but Ghost Pill, brother, if you ever want to come on and chat again, you're always welcome to. And if you want to just have a one-on-one someday, let me know, brother.
For sure. I'd be down. I don't have a whole lot of people to talk to or hang out with because I kind of flip my life upside down to flee liberal stupidity. So
Hey man, you got a family here.
Well,
I
there's also
appreciate it.
the,
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Shinobi.
Every one of my brothers are right here.
Yeah, that's the way. That's the
And
way
now
it is.
there's a face to Ghost Pill. Everyone's gonna know who I am now.
Now we
Yeah.
know who
Oh well.
you are.
We know your tats.
Right.
We know your tattoos now.
He's an
Oh.
infiltrator. He's Antifa.
Yeah, Irish pride. Yeah, you know.
Irish, Ireland, go Ireland.
No, like I said, man, I talk to you guys about things I don't talk to anybody else about. Not my next door neighbor, not the fucking person laying next to me, not my own fucking family. Because there's no point.
Hey,
Most of
the
them will
only
never
way I've
understand.
maintained my sanity is because of Terrence Pop, because of Hammerhand, because of Undead Chronic, One Fast Stack, and you guys. You know, the only reason why I've kept my sanity through all this horse crap is because of the service that you guys are providing to your fellow man. That's helping them try to keep their heads above water when it comes to society that's trying to destroy them from the inside out in every way possible.
Yeah, absolutely right.
You stay
Right
with
on the
us,
fucking
Ghost
money.
Pill.
Yeah,
Stay with
guys,
us.
stay in the chat, but I'm going to end the stream here, and I've dropped the link for
Okay,
anybody that wants to come in and talk backstage.
Oh, cool, Chris.
I want to
Hey,
thank
give that boy
everybody
a
for
hug.
coming.
I got to get to bed. I got a 5 a.m. date with the gym, so.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with that, buddy. But I'll say a good night to everybody in the chat, and thank you again for coming, everybody. Thank you for giving D-Man a couple of subs. And if you've donated, I appreciate that highly, too. Hopefully our trip, when we get the guys together, is going to be awesome. So I'll say good night here, and thank you guys for coming on.
Later, guys.
Love you, Ambassador. Nice talking to you, Ghost.